is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Howdy, welcome aboard. Good morning, boys and girls. Ready to rock and roll. Slightly late today on the program, but of course, coming to you live from the beautiful dealership that is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, baby. Yes, 12 years in a row we've been out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be out here for a few hours, getting you ready for the weekend. So come on out, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Got a beautiful selection of new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Sean Stanley, how are you doing, sir? You feeling good today? Huh? You feeling good? Oh, wait a minute. I don't hear you. Is your mic on? Is it this one? No? So you don't even know that one?
This one, I believe.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Very low. I don't even hear myself.
Yeah. Now I hear you.
Oh.
You're actually on now.
interesting.
By the way, did you see the floods in Vegas?
No, I did not.
Dude, like casinos were flooded. Like their parking lots were flooded.
Is it raining?
Flash floods. Like it rained so much that there were a bunch of flash floods. I was thinking about us going, damn, we were just there and none of that went on while we were there. Thank the Lord. Wow, that was kind of crazy what was going on. Are you guys able to hear Sean? Because I can hear him in my headset. So I don't know. You it looks like you better reconnect what you connected there. But that was crazy. I thought about us right away. You got to check it out. You got to go to YouTube and like put Las Vegas news, and that'll come out like right away.
Yeah, I'll check it out. All right, now I hear myself a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I saw that. Yeah, I was like, I was watching that last night. I'm like, what the hell is going on over there, man? And those people need water badly. I mean, badly. Like they need a cumulonimbus cloud to live over Lake Mead for like 3 months and just pound the lake with water and refill that thing up, man. But I saw that and I thought about this right away. I go,
yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, okay, the heat is one thing, but at least we don't have to deal with a
flood.
Yeah. Yeah,
because when we were there, you poured your drink out and it was already gone and absorbed into the ground before it even basically got there.
Yes. The heat would just dissolve it like right away. But anyway, good morning. We are ready to rock. We got a lot of things to talk about. The Dolphins are at training camp now. Manny Navarro will join us. Omar Kelly will join us. Cameron Wolf will join us. And tomorrow we're also going to be on in the afternoon, although you got to subscribe to the Big O Show Cuts channel because we're going to go live at the Big O Show Cuts tomorrow, okay? And we'll have a little fun there over at Big O Show Cuts. You got to set that thing up. I don't know. Oh, you did already?
We had to do it yesterday because if not, you would not have been able to go live. It takes 48 hours.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Look at you.
I'm trying.
No, you do. Screw that trying shit. You do. You don't try at all. You do. Well, brother, if you and I don't do it, who's going to do it? Right? Who the hell's going to do it if it's not you and me as it is? Anyway, Mr. Stanley is the pro. Yes, he is, Brosendo. He is a superb pro as it is. I see Jonathan Cagle says, good morning, Big O. Let's hit that like button. Yes, please, folks, hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe to Big O Show Cuts because that's our second channel. And, as the platform grows, that channel will also start having stuff. Sean is putting other sound bites there, other interviews there that you're not going to see on this channel. And so it's kind of part of the growth. So please please help us out there. And we really need to get it to 1,000 as soon as possible. Okay. So that's also very important too, on top of all of that. So there we go. Scott Primus is in the house. He says, I see Steve Chapman in, and Omar Lopez and Primus and Isaiah and Cockrell in, and Rosendo says Friday is a day to finish your goals for the week. It is a day to celebrate that which you set out to accomplish at the beginning of the week. Well done. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Although you always feel like you can do more. You know what I'm saying? 6193, Greater Good, Miami Breaker, Fulgencio Batista. Thank you, sir, for the blessed Friday. Tony Zagales. Corn, Iowa Productions. And Greater Good says he subscribed to Cuts. Thank you, sir. Thank you. EWDIJR says, great show. Last night, Sean, he says. There you go. Heat Fins. Steven Gonzalez, good morning, my people. Big O, I love you, bro. Thank God it's Friday. One more day, we get closer to Dolphins football. How about that catch by Waddle? Wow. How about Ezukama? See the catch by Zukama. It's how's that? Oh, another one, but he also caught one too. He caught one, and then Holland broke another one up on top of all of that. Yeah, no, definitely. And let me get into something here with the Dolphins. because obviously we talk plenty of Dolphins here on the show, but it's a lot of people talk about the obvious, and I think most of you are smart enough, not all of you, of course, but most of you are smart enough to pick up on some of the obvious things, right? Waddle's going to make Tyreek better because Tyreek's never had a guy like Waddle next to him. And then obviously Waddle will be better because Tyreek is a legitimate number one wide receiver. And now Waddle, who was the number one wide receiver last year, and everybody knew he was getting the ball and still got it, now he's got Tyreek next to him, right? So those are the obvious things. But camp has only been open for a couple of days. And the other thing that's standing out, and this is the one that all of you need to focus in on, because this is where Mike McDaniel is going to kill the other team. It's obvious Waddle and Hill are going to be the guys. You know they're going to go to Hill a ton. You know they're going to go to Waddle a ton. They can play off of each other. Have you watched what we just mentioned? Eric Ezukama the last couple of days, making some catches. And that is what's going to make everything better. Hill and Waddle, okay, are going to make Ezukama better. They're going to make Cedric Wilson better. They're going to make any receiver that's on the field better. And they're even going to make Mike Gesicki a better tight end. Why? If you're a safety and you're a corner, who are you most concerned about? The two guys that the second they touch the ball, they can house it. So the attention, the brackets, the schemes will all be dictated to Hill and Waddle the entire time. So it is going to be an absolute buffet, a smorgasbord for everybody else. Cedric Wilson is going to say, holy shit. They're worried so much about Tyreek Hill. They're worried so much about Waddle. I'm getting the third or fourth best corner. The safety's not worried about me. I got to beat my man and get some space, and Tua's going to find me. And to me, that's the thing that really stands out about having Hill and Waddle. Those guys are going to be studs. They're studs already. Waddle was a rookie last year. You knew he was getting the ball because he was the only damn receiver on the team. Everybody else was on a bike, injured or on the IR or whatever. And, you know, that receiving core was basically useless outside of him and Gesicki. And you knew that it was going to Waddle, and they did not stop it. He got 100+ catches. So Waddle, as a child, as an infant in the NFL, comes in and smokes fools. Tyreek's been smoking fools for years. So I don't need to see anything more from those two guys already. I know what they are. Those are superstar caliber players. That's superstar speed. That's the kind of stuff that the good Lord blesses you. And it's now up. Now, once the Lord blesses you like he does for all of us with some kind of a gift, it's up to you what you do with it. Right? And obviously Tyreek and Waddle know what the hell to do with their gifts. Now the defenses and the defensive coordinators have got to stop these two monsters. And you know you can't single coverage any of these two guys, so you're going to have to double one. You can't double both because then all of a sudden, what the hell else you got out on the field covering? So you're going to have to double one. Another one's going to be single coverage, and now Cedric Wilson will not have to worry about deep safety coverage because they're worried about two other guys. Now Mike Gesicki can roam the middle of the field without worrying about somebody clocking him because those guys have to be worrying about the outside guys. And let me tell you something. The other thing that this does is it gets everybody in that secondary and the linebackers, especially whoever's in charge of coverage, on their heels the entire time. It allows you to run the ball a little bit more because the same way you loosen up the front by being able to run And that way you're able to throw because now you're sucking people up. When you're running the ball a lot, you got a safety coming in to cheat into the box and help out. When you do that, now you can go over the top. Now you can work the middle of the field. Things open up for you. It's the opposite, too. Having Waddle and Hill is also going to loosen things up that you might be able to have a little bit more running room. And when you start to add the speed of Raheem Mostert, the speed of Chase, along with Waddle and Hill and Cedric, people are, I was talking to somebody in the building, and he was telling me that people are going to be absolutely pleasantly surprised with Cedric Wilson. They're going to go, I didn't realize he was that fast. I didn't realize he was that good. I didn't realize he had these kind of hands. I didn't realize he can run these kind of routes. That's why when you have Waddle and Hill, of course, having Hill and who's one of the 3 or 4 best wide receivers in the NFL, whatever you want to make them, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the silly argument is, I don't care. And having Waddle there, you've got easily 2 of the top, 15, 20 wide receivers in the NFL? Because I would put Waddle already in the top 15, top 20, right? And Tyreek is easily in the top 3, top 5, whatever you want to do, right? Obviously, you're going to be monstrous. But it's also going to open it up for everybody else. When you have 2 great ones, it allows you to do so much because there's going to be so much attention to those guys. And that's the part that I think people are actually overlooking. Not how much Tyreek is going to make Waddle better or how much Waddle is going to make Tyreek better or anything like that. It's how much that combination is going to free it up for everybody else to do their thing. If I'm Mike Gesicki, I am licking my chops that I get to play on an offense where they're going to be worried about 2 guys better than me. If I'm Cedric Wilson, I'm like, okay, this is awesome. I get to play on an offense where there are 3 guys better than me, and they've got to worry about them. And if Miami gets the running game going, and you know that Mostert and Chase are going to be part of that passing game, sky's the limit for this offense. It really is. And if you know how to play design, you're going to have so many different opportunities to get chunk plays in this offense with different players. It will not have to be Hill and Waddle every single time. You've got several other players. Gesicki can get you chunk plays. Cedric Wilson can get you chunk plays. Ezukama is showing you that even as a youngster, he has the ability, like I told you, like I thought in the offseason, that he's going to be a fade pattern guy. Big body, he has control. You saw the highlights. Okay, I see what they're doing with that guy. Oh, and he's in the run game. I see what they're doing with that guy. He's going to do some of the Deebo Samuel things. By the way, I was able to talk to somebody in the building the other day when I gave him my theory. And I said, wow, there's no Deebo Samuel on this team, but he's actually in 6, 7 different guys. And he goes, yeah, I can see that. That's exactly it. This offense is going to feed off of those 2 wide receivers. And everybody that plays opposite of Hill and Waddle should be kissing the ground they're walking on, because those guys are going to create just so many opportunities. This is going to be a fun offense to watch. Man, if they can stay healthy, which is always the key for every team in the NFL, you got to have luck. And I'm not just talking about, the tuck rule, and I'm not just talking about the immaculate reception, and I'm not talking about the music miracle, and I'm not talking about a crazy-ass play that you need to go your way. I'm talking about luck, like people staying healthy. Most of these not all Super Bowl champions, some of them get there and they do have their share of injuries, and somehow or another they're able to overcome. But more often than not, the team that wins the Super Bowl is pretty healthy. The team that wins the Super Bowl didn't really lose a lot of players, and they get that break. You know what I mean? And that's what Miami needs. Like any other team that wants to make a deep run, you need the break. You got to stay healthy. But I love what Hill and Waddle bring for everybody else, not just for each other. That's the obvious one. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. Don't forget, redrecover.com, a proud sponsor of our program. And I've been telling you about Red Recover. I've been using it now for my right shoulder to ease the pain and discomfort, because I'm a side sleeper, and lately I've been having some problems with my shoulder, and it's been kind of sore. So and it limits my mobility. But as you see, the mobility is kind of back, and everything's feeling a lot better. And I've been treating it every day. And Red Recover, whether it's pain, whether it's chronic issues, whether it's injuries, whether it's soreness after working out, it's great for the adults. It's great for the kids. There is no side effects whatsoever. There are no drugs involved. Red light therapy is all natural, folks. I'll give you an example. First round pick, Hayden Hurst, tight end for the Bengals. He uses Red Recover for his program to optimize performance on Sundays. He's got some live blogs there, or video blogs, that is, on the website at redrecover.com. You can go check it out. And it's ideal for anybody suffering from chronic pain, arthritis, neck, lower back discomfort. 15 minutes daily will bring about tremendous relief. You'll feel better without using medication. Redrecover.com is 100% natural, no side effects. So if the kids are running around picking up the sprains and the strains throughout the summer and they need something for the ankle or something, you can get that wrap. We've got them even for our dogs too. Okay, the dogs have the back hips and the front shoulders, and sometimes they develop chronic issues and arthritis as they get older. You want to alleviate that discomfort so they can live a longer and pain-free pain-free life. Do it for your dogs, do it for your kids, do it for yourself. If you've got a chronic issue, injury, some kind of operation from the past, even healing, even when you have scar tissue after you've had some kind of a surgery, wait till I show you the before and after pictures of that. When the doc joins us next month, we're going to show you the before and after pictures of people that have scars from operations, and then they use the red light therapy and how it helps heal the skin, and it makes it look back to normal. I mean, it really is amazing. I use it to grow my hair. Please go to redrecover.com, use our code Big O, and you will get 10% off. Code Big O, redrecover.com. All right. Love Red Recover, man. If you want to get in, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. I see Brooklyn Rob says, CTSW, checking in. Show just keeps getting better every day. You and Sean are rock stars. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you for the love on the Super Chat. And as always, you can always make a donation to the show on Super Chat. And, of course, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And remember, you want to donate a little crypto there on the Cash App. You can do it at Cash Big O Show. Already had somebody donate a little Bitcoin, which, by the way, Bitcoin over 24,000 now at 24,225. So it is holding, and this run continues now. As I told you, get me through August, and I'll believe that this is real, okay? Because this is we're approaching maybe about a week of maybe just a little less than a week of the market turning around and starting to really climb. I'm really impressed with it. Ethereum is all the way up over 1,700, 1,751. Ethereum went down to $900, man, and I loved it when it went down there, man. Those of you that bought it at $900, you're about to double your money already. Although those rich people, that's the beauty of being rich, right? Ethereum drops to $900. You put 500 grand on it, goes up to 1,800, pull out $1 million. So it's just nice, when you're rich, you can make really a lot of money. Those of us are working stiffs. You put 100 in when it's at 900, and then you get 200 back at 1800. So you're making money, but not like the people that can really make money with these kind of things. Anyway, but yeah, it is all climbing. Chain link is up 17.5%. It's over $8. I'm a monster chain link guy. Immutable X, so impressed. Went up over $1. I mean, you look at it, what was it on Wednesday? It was at 79 cents. It's at $1.03 right now. So that's a hell of a climb already. Illuvium is up over $124. It was down in the, I want to say $92, $93, $94 range. I mean, there's just so many good, right now, there's a lot of good coins that are traveling on the way up. So if you took advantage of it, good for you out there, man. Good for you. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, I have Dolphin scars. Will Red Recover work for me? It can try. Yeah, I mean, you put it over your heart, and maybe Red Recover will help you out to heal those Dolphin scars. Yes. It's not normal to be excited about Dolphin preseason games, but I am. I get excited about Dolphin football, period. I get excited about the draft. I get excited about Dolphin free agency. I get excited about a Dolphin trade. I get excited about Dolphin mini camps. I get excited about training camp and preseason and the regular season. And it doesn't matter to me how bad they are, how good they are, how mediocre they are, how average they are. I'm always jacked for it. I might be depressed by the end of the year because we had a bad year. But the second it's over, I'm looking forward to it again. You know what I mean? I know it's masochistic of me, right? But that's how I always feel about Dolphin football. That's the reason why when I got on the beat, I always wanted to do this business, right? And now being in the business, now this is my 32nd year in the business. I never get tired of it. And I always love it and enjoy it. And that's the reason why I thought Dolphin fans electronically never had somebody really covering the Dolphins the way they needed. And that's why I said, well, I got to go out to the Orlando Gridiron Classic. I got to go out to the East-West Shrine game. I got to go out to the Senior Bowl. I got to go out to the Combine. How am I going to get Dolphin fans like the information that they need? How are we going to really get to know the league and the coaches and the scouts and the agents and all those kind of things? And that's and let me tell you, this year going to the Vegas Summer League, that's inspired me also now that starting next year, all these other NBA events I will be at, and I'm going to know, like this time I went with very rookie eyes because I don't know what's going on. I don't know the lay of the land. I don't know about events and agents and all that kind of stuff. And by next year, I will be more than prepared for those kind of things when we go to Vegas, and maybe bring you even more information on the basketball side like I've done for football for 30 years. And so for me, I always look forward to this, man. One of the best compliments I ever got in this business was from Dave Lamont. And he recently gave me this compliment. I don't know. It was maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, maybe 3, something like that. He goes, he told me, you know why I love your work? Because you still work with the same passion you did from the first year that I met you. Because Dave knows me from 32 years ago when I started, or 30 years ago, 30 years ago, yeah, when I started at WINZ, because he was there with Corey Sabin and Phil Latzman. And so he knows the kind of fire that I've always worked with. And he's like, it's never changed for you. It's like the rest of us kind of die out. The rest of us lose the luster for it, the passion for it, and I don't. And I never have. I don't think I ever will. I think it's something that I was kind of built for in a way. So I'm always looking forward to Dolphin season, man. Always. Every single time. Can't wait for it. Come on, Big O. Football is back, baby. Jackson 5 style. Can you feel it? Who is a bigger human, Raekwon or Armstead? I'm going to go Raekwon. But they're both enormous dudes. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Big O, initial reaction from practice, positive or negative? Positive. Positive. Remember, these are all new. This is a new offensive system that they're going through also. And it's pretty smooth, the system. So I think they're doing all right. They're going to make mistakes. Tua's going to make mistakes. The O-line's going to make mistakes. They're supposed to make mistakes. This is all new. But overall, I like what I'm seeing. Now, let's wait for the pads so we can, next week we'll start to get a real feel for things because there'll be pads. Jamie Reinkart says, Big O, it's so nice not to have the drama in the building this year, although I miss asking you who Flo wanted in the draft every week. Damn, Omar spoiled that. Yes. What else? This is the most excited I've been for the Fins in my entire life. We have been pretty much 8-8 all my life. Yeah. I get excited about how Tua's going to shut all the haters up, says Tony. Anthony says, Hill and Waddle remind me of having Ricky and Ronnie in the backfield. Between the two of them, defenses will constantly be on the edge. I like it. The Wayne D experience and Herman Cueva is in. Wayne Russell says, greetings from Chautauqua, Illinois, or Chautauqua, Illinois. I don't know. But thank you for listening every day, William. I don't know how the hell that thing is pronounced. It's almost as bad as Alzagiri. Rosendo says, I'm really excited for the younger fans who have never experienced the feeling of a Dolphins winning season. Very true. Devin Jordan, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Says, Big O, remember last year when all the Dolphin beat writers crowned Albert Wilson as the best player in OTAs and training camp? I remember. And I was laughing at every one of them for doing that. And again, thank you for the love on the super chat, Devin. Very nice. Yuri Cristofanti. That is a new person on the super chat. Maybe he's been watching and all that, but thank you for chiming in. And he got in a sticker with a number 1. So I love it. Thank you for a little love on the super chat. Very nice of you. What do we have, Sean? What's breaking?
Mac Jones has thrown his first INT.
Oh, God, it's over.
In camp.
That's it. Oh, but they don't have mitts on today. That's why
no mitts today.
They could catch the
they
ball.
Can catch the ball today.
No mitts on yesterday, so they can't catch. Today they put on mitts, and there you go. Okay. Big O, these negative comments about Tua on social media are mind-boggling to me. These so-called fans, media pundits, and podcasters are obsessed with criticizing this young man constantly. Yeah, but it gets hits because talking about good stuff is boring to people. The key to this season is whether Connor W. can morph into a great center. Dolphins' fortunes have always varied with the quality of the center. That will help. There's no doubt that is a key, but the whole line is a key. Let me tell you what the key is. Okay, talking a little Dolphins football here and talking a little Dolphins offensive line. The last time that they were a good offensive line, when was it? When they would keep Brandon Albert, Mike Pouncey, and James Jones, John James, Jawan James healthy. Remember what Omar called it? The unicorn, right? And that was the Jay Ajayi year, also, if I'm correct. So you were able to keep them healthy, and you ran the ball at times. When they would break down, you wouldn't have nearly the same kind of success. Correct? Correctamundo? So last year, you had Flo with his stupidity. Oh, I live in a tree. I'm going to start 4 linemen that have no experience and a journeyman named Jesse Davis. And I'm going to hire 3 offensive coordinators with no experience. And I'll get a quarterbacks coach that never coached in the NFL. And that'll work. No. Brandon Albert, Laramie Tunsil, Mike Pouncey, Jerome Bushrod, and Jawan James. Right, exactly. Right? So the last time you had success, you had experienced veteran linemen on there along with others. Right? What do you have right now? Whoa. Oh, my God. They brought in Teron Armstead. A lot like Brandon Albert, right? Plays left tackle, little injury prone, right? Wasn't Brandon Albert a little injury prone, but a very good player. Mike Pouncey, your proven center, little injury prone. Connor Williams, not injury prone, but a proven player at guard. Played some center for Dallas last year in practice, but they used him anyways, still at guard. We'll see if he translates over. And then Robert Hunt actually did a pretty good job out of the young guys last year. So you start to look around, you really got to fill 2 spots. And you go back and say, well, now you went and got Raheem Mostert and you went and got Chase. So you got yourself a couple of experienced backs to go with a couple of experienced linemen, to go with an experienced offensive line coach, offensive coordinator. Oh, my God, QB coach. Wow, running backs coach, tight ends coach. Whoa, things might just work out. Now, injuries will hurt anything and everything on any team in any sport, so as you all know. But if you're able to keep these guys healthy, it's kind of the ingredients you used a few years back to have success on the offensive line. And that's why it was so key in signing Teron Armstead and Connor Williams. And remember what I told you yesterday on one of my rants, that look at this offseason, all the moves they made, the big trades, all that stuff. None of it would have happened under Flo because he would not have allowed that many moves because that's not the Patriot way. So you look at it now, and now the team and the offense looks and makes so much more sense than what we have been watching last year when you and you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's my goofy impression, by the way. Isn't that kind of a goofy laugh? Right? Isn't that goofy? No? It's not a bad goofy laugh, right? Okay. CSR Collectibles, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. It says, keep up the good work. Go Dolphins. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. I know it's early, but have you heard any progress on Channing Tindall? No, there are no pads. I'm not doing anything with linebackers, linemen. I'm not doing with anything in the running game and all that stuff. Notice how I have not mentioned anything in the running game. I've mentioned wide receivers, corners, quarterbacks. I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about when I went to watch practice. I am not talking about the running game because there's no hitting going on. Sorry, dude. I mean, if you played football, you know what I'm talking about. Yes.
The one thing I did notice about Tindall, when they had the linebackers together, he's the biggest of the thumpers.
Okay.
Well, or the ones that they won, I guess.
Right.
Thumpers because,
right. Yeah.
But he's a big body. He's a big body.
And he can fly around.
Yeah,
that's what I like about him. He can fly.
There's actually a picture on Twitter. I got to find it, but they have the 4 of them together, and you can just see. Again, he's a rookie, so it just he looks the part, I guess.
They played in the SEC, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta have some meat on your bones in the SEC. Let's see, what else do we have? Augustine says the only Tua don't play a game this year is when Nick sits him for whatever. I don't know. Always get the silly asses. Herman says, Big O, remember Coach McDaniel coached in the NFC and had to study about Connor Williams, so maybe that's the move from guard to center. Listen, man, he knows offensive line more than any of us. So if he feels they can move Connor to center, then we've got to go with the experiment and see what it is. Clearly, look, once you move Connor to center, your initial diagnosis of the film and of Michael Dieter was not good enough. Right? That's it. Okay? You can take away the clause from Kyler Murray's contract and say, oh, no, this, that, we made a mistake. It's over, dude. You put the clause there for a reason. He clearly doesn't study the game. That's why you put the clause. The fat guy that keeps going around in the drive-thru and gaining weight, you put a weight clause in his contract, don't you? Right? The guy that's constantly tardy to meetings, right? You put a clause in the contract for him, don't you? When you put a clause in a contract, there's a reason, okay? You don't seek a pardon if you're not guilty. It's just, there are common sense things in life. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way life is. So, this is one where they made their decision. They said Michael Dieter is not good enough to be a center right from the get-go. And Connor had not played it yet at the NFL level, but they knew that he'd practiced some for the Cowboys last offseason, but the Cowboys still played him at guard, but they still felt that his skill set could translate over to center. And let me tell you something. It's a lot harder projection for all coaches to make the guard to center projection than the center to guard projection. Why do I say that? Because the challenge of playing with the football is a lot harder than the challenge playing without the football. You know what I mean? That's why sometimes point guards are point guards, but you can't make them off guards because they don't know how to play off the ball. They don't know how to cut. They don't know how to wait for their moment. They don't understand that stuff because they're not used to it. Instinctually, it's not in them. The guard you find that is a combo guard, that's a beautiful thing. The guard that can play center and is a combo guy, that's a beautiful thing. But you don't know that until you're able to do it. But it's a lot easier to say, all right, let's make this center a guard, and the guy will adjust to playing without the football like that. But then from guard to center and having to snap, and you're at a moment of vulnerability at that second. Unlike everybody else, on the snap, you're up. You're punching. The center is snapping and taking a hit at the same time, getting run over, whatever. He's got to snap and pop faster than everybody else, but it's a lot harder. And you've got to make sure the snap is perfect. And you've got to compartmentalize two things. I got to get the snap perfect, and then I got to get the block. Everybody else says, I just got to get the block. So this transition to say Connor's going to be a center, boy, you are seriously saying Michael Dieter is not one. Okay? So now Michael Dieter's job, which, by the way, went from guard to play center, now he goes back to his natural position, which is guard. So maybe it works out for everybody else. Maybe they think it's better for Michael Dieter to play without thinking about playing center.
That, and also I think one of the things, too, is I don't know, how athletic is Dieter? I mean, I know he's athletic because he's
he played tackle.
But as far as snapping the ball and then getting out, because in this offense,
you got it. Yeah,
it's a lot of, now it's not just snapping.
But remember,
the ball
in the rookie year, they played him at tackle and everything. Yeah. So if you think he can play tackle, then he's got to have the footwork. At guard, you play in a phone booth.
Yeah,
more often than not. At center, you play in a phone booth. Now, sometimes you've got to pull, but if you're going to play tackle, then you've got to have exceptional feet.
In his offense, though, isn't the line moving more?
Yes.
As far as
it's
athletically,
a zone.
I mean, as far as
it's a zone.
I think that might, because Dieter's a big guy, but to me, he's more the guy to stand there and be in the way.
No, but he can move.
In this one, can he move?
Yes.
I was wondering because I've never actually seen
him. He can move. Solomon Kinley can't. He can move.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that's why maybe they said, let's put him back in where he doesn't have to think about snapping the ball.
That's what I think it is.
And he can work it because he's athletic enough to do this offense. It's just not at the center position. It's not his.
Right. That's all what it is right now. That's exactly what it is. They looked at him and said, center's a little too much for him. Let's move him over. We think Connor can handle it better. And that's the challenge, man. When you haven't played center and you're a guard and they make that switch over, it's a hell of a challenge for a player, because all of a sudden now, actually, there's a couple of things going on. Wait a minute. I screwed up. One is getting the snap right. Two is making the right calls on the line.
Yeah.
And then three is also then blocking. Okay?
Last year was his first year at center, right?
Right, yeah.
With that offensive line coach.
Yes, right.
Again,
loosely.
But I'm saying, but how much effect does that have on far as
total?
He may not to the position, and
he may not have the proper training either.
Yeah, that's right. Coaching, like you say all the time, the coaching.
From day one, I said coaching was the problem on that team, on that offense. Everything was about coaching. So that's really what goes on, and that's why that change is made. they feel mentally and physically Connor Williams can handle the center position way better than Michael Dieter. And they felt Michael Dieter is better to play the guard. And then, hey, you've played center. You'll be a backup center just in case. We'll give you occasional reps there, and we'll keep you sharp at center, and you'll play guard, and you'll be the swing guy. That's what Dieter's going to be. He's going to be the swing guard tackle, right? You need a swing tackle now too, right? Behind the two starting tackles, the same thing. That's what Michael Dieter is going to be. What else do we have going on in the world of deportes? By the way, Nature B is a proud sponsor of our program. We tell you all the time about Nature B. Nature B is for me. 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals and powerful antioxidants. Take advantage right now, folks. It's going to end here in a couple of days. You buy 2 months, you get the third month for free. I tell you all the time, it boosts your immune system. I rarely ever have a cold, thanks to Nature B. In fact, the only time I get a cold is when I give it to myself, that I sleep, because I sleep with these two giant fans hitting me constantly with hurricane force winds, but I have to cover my mouth. But if I actually leave my mouth open and that wind is blowing it, oh, that's it. It screws up my throat and I'm done. Nothing can save me from that. But outside of everything else, all the big nasties out there, Nature B, man, I stay away from colds. And in a virus-filled world nowadays, you need it. And you want energy, powers you through the day, boosting your immune system. Hair, nails will grow stronger and smoother skin, fuller hair, as you've seen my hair at 55, almost 56. I'm a couple months away already from the big 5'6", folks. And right now, it ends this month. You buy 2 months, you get the third month for free and free shipping. Go to natureb.com, use our code Big O, and get the free shipping and the free third month. Natureb.com. It's a beautiful thing. All right.
By the way, the Devontae Parker show continues.
Oh, yeah.
At Patriots camp, another great body-controlled catch.
You can do that all the time, bro. Stay healthy. all that sounds great right now in late July. I want to see you healthy in September and October and November. I've seen that soap opera before, and let them drink the Kool-Aid, man. Let them drink the Kool-Aid. Last time I checked, we have a guy named X. It's going to shut his ass down anyway, so I'm not even worried about it, dude. So it's just one of those where I love that the New England Patriots are drinking the Devontae Parker Kool-Aid. Okay? I mean, I hope they get so effing drunk on that Devontae Parker Kool-Aid and they start thinking that he is the second coming and going to a Pro Bowl and he's going to be an all-world wide receiver. And then you've got the Dolphin fans who are negative Nellies going, oh, yeah, they always play better for them than us. And no. This story is a story I have seen over and over and over again. And when that cold weather seeps in New England and those hammies and everything else start getting all tight and all that, we shall see. We shall see. I don't wish anything bad on Devontae Parker, okay? Seriously. I don't want him to get hurt at all, okay? I certainly don't want him to play well against Miami, but I'm not wishing any kind of injuries because I don't do that for any player. Dude, I don't care if they play for the Jets. That's not cool. Okay, I'm not wishing injury on anything, but I know what injury prone is. And I know what he is. He's injury prone. He's been that his entire career, unfortunately. And so that's what normally happens, unfortunately, because most of us, see, the part that as much as we could talk, oh, that guy's soft and that guy breaks down and this and that, most of us would never last in the NFL. Let's just get that straight, okay? Most of us would be injury prone and broken down. The freaks are those guys that stay healthy in that damn sport, just like hockey. It's freakish that they stay healthy. It's actually normal that you break down. When you're that big, that strong, and you hit that hard, hell yeah. I'm going to end up like Evel Knievel, breaking over 200 bones in my body if I played football. So as much as we talk shit and say, oh, that guy's soft and that guy breaks down, every one of us would be soft. Every one of us would break down in the NFL. Okay? Those are big, strong, tough, and freakish dudes. Don't ever get that ever mistaken. We can never do what they do. We can never put our bodies through that and survive and play at that level. Forget it. All right? So we can have fun at picking on them and say, oh, this guy's soft and that guy breaks down. We would too. Hour number 2 is next. Manny Navarro, yes, sir, and our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report is rocking.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes Wear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Howdy, there he is. You know, I said that about everybody except Manny. Of course, you would play football and you'd be healthy and you'd knock the shit out of everybody.
That's right.
Right?
That's
okay.
right.
No,
I put people on their butts, man.
Isn't it? That part is so true, right? I mean, like we talk about players like, oh, this guy's soft. This guy breaks down constantly. We wouldn't last 5 effing minutes.
No. I played football a little bit growing up as a kid, and I preferred baseball. Too much work on football, man.
Yeah. No, I got to the high school level, and I just said, you know, Waikiki and the beaches and 81st Street Beach, and all, you know, like, because that's where Hialeah, Miami Lakes people went. And I said, you know, that sounds a lot better in the afternoon than me sweating my ass off in practice. So, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I got out of it quickly, bro. But yeah, no, it's just funny how we talk about that stuff. All right, so let's get into a little Kane stuff. Dude, the commits just continue to roll in. Tommy Kinsler following Malik Bryant now. Talk to me about all these guys, and thank you guys as you're taking the tally. What is it now? They have 8 4-stars and 5 5-stars in the class. This guy is actually a 3-star. But wait a minute, now that Miami signs you, don't you get an extra star nowadays?
Right, you get a boost.
Yeah.
I know from talking to a couple people, not just at Miami or Florida where they were, you know, recruiting him. I know from different evaluators that they really think the kid's very underrated. I think he's ranked in the 900 somewhere, according to the 247, which is the one I use, because you can't go by all of them. You'll get eight different results, right, with all the recruiting services. But he is a solid guy who can play anywhere on the line. I think they kind of compare him a little bit to DJ Scaife, and DJ Scaife's been a guy who started over 40 games for Miami. He was higher rated coming out of high school down here in South Ridge, but he's a kid that can play on both sides of the line. offense and defense and all over the offensive line. So I think eventually
he's more of an athlete is what it is right now.
Well, no, he's a lineman. He's been a lineman.
Okay.
I'm just saying, he could play on either side. Like he's that kind of an aggressive player. I mean, to me, he's a run blocker and he's a run stuffer. Like he could be either or. But I think Miami's bringing him in essentially.
Mammoth.
Yeah,
6'6",
really.
330 already, bro, in high school.
Yeah, and I think.
Are you kidding me?
I think that what they like about him most is what I said, which is he can play both sides, which tells you he's ferocious. He's kind of just nasty. And Ocala Trinity Catholic's always been a good program. They've always produced kids that go on to play college ball from there. So he comes from a good program. And then as far as Malik Bryant, he's an elite kid, man. He's top 100. Linebacker, a guy that I think played with his hand in dirt in the ground as a freshman. He had like something like 14 or 15 sacks or whatever as a freshman, almost led his team to a state championship. Then he goes to IMG Academy for 2 years, which IMG is basically, pre-college, right? Football, essentially. It's what it is. It's just an academy, a football academy, essentially. And, he went there and he started as well. So this is a guy who's been starting 3 years of high school. Now he goes back to Orlando Jones, where he's going to try to lead his team to a state championship this year. And just super, pass rusher, can cover. Not the best cover guy that Miami has among the linebackers. I think the Popo Aguirre kid is much more adept at that in terms of coverage, but is a guy that, to me, he's just a defensive weapon. And I was on a Zoom call with him a couple nights ago, me and a couple of other reporters, and I asked him, I said, how have Miami coaches told you they're going to use you? And he said, like Micah Parsons over with the Cowboys. So he turned out pretty good, right? So
I think he can play. Maybe might be able to make it.
So if he's Micah Parsons in a couple years, then huge win for Miami in whatever role they use him ultimately, whether it's a pass rusher or standing there in the middle and stuffing the run and being a guy who's fast enough to get fast guys down. He's definitely got some speed on him.
Yeah, I loved Micah coming out of Penn State. That was just one of those dudes you could tell had werewolf in him, man. It reminds me a lot of what I just saw with the Panthers. They needed a werewolf in the locker room, and they finally got one in Kachuk. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
It was just one of those things. Oh, by the way, I don't know if since I can't I couldn't ask you this question because you're not on a pro beat. You're on the college beat. But I was just having some fun with this question a couple of days ago. Let me make sure I have my list. I don't want to screw it up. Who's the guy that has the most swag in South Florida? That is the alpha with the most swag. Jimmy Butler, Tyreek Hill. I did ask you this?
You did. And I
did. Okay.
And I told you Jimmy. But I love the question because it is a very important one.
Okay.
I just think Tyreek Hill, I mean, look, he's a super speedy receiver. He's got great swag. I just give Jimmy the nod because he leads his team. It's hard for Tyreek to do that as a receiver every single week, right? Like he'll be effective and change defenses and cause opponents to have to game plan for him. But my point is, he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Somebody's got to get it to him. So in Jimmy's case, he's got the ball in his hands and he's got control.
All right.
So that's why I give him the edge.
So now this leads me to the question I wanted to ask you, because that's what I was going to try to set you up with.
Mm-hmm.
I think the front office of the Miami Dolphins knew they had a couple of dogs inside that locker room, but they probably needed more. Like X is an alpha, but he's not a vocal alpha.
Right.
And so they figured they needed a couple guys, and they went, and I think specifically, not only because they're great players, but I think Teron Armstead and Tyreek Hill were brought in because he needed a couple of extra alphas in that locker room to kind of help out, because football is different. Football really is not led by just one alpha because there's so many fractions in the locker room. You need several guys. And, a couple of days ago when I was there, I asked McDaniel, how do you go about captains and how do you use them as a vehicle to connect with the players? And so here's the question I have for you. We know Tyler Van Dyke, obviously, on that list as one of the alphas, but he can't handle the whole team. So who's the 3, 4, 5 guys that or you think that Mario Cristobal is going to lean on as alphas on that team to be the leaders for that team and be the conduits to him to get a feel for, hey, what's going on with this group on defense, this group on special teams, this group on offense, those kind of guys. And the head coach usually has some captains that'll relay the feelings of the team or whatever's going on or those kind of things. So who are those guys outside of the obvious Tyler Van Dyke?
It's a great question. I think, you look at the offensive line, which is obviously very, very important to Mario, right? I mean, that's where his focus is all the time. Zion Nelson is not one of those alpha vocal leaders. He's just a very athletic, super talented, left tackle. Usually it's the center on the offensive line that leads it because he's the one calling out.
Casey Jones was that kind of guy.
Right.
Blomberg was that kind of guy. Yeah.
I think Ja'Kai Clark can be that guy now, right? Because Corey Gaynor was the center for several years. Corey Gaynor gets hurt. He takes over in the middle of the season last year. He was already starting on the offensive line since his freshman year. He was a guard. Now he's moved over to center. So I think, if you were going to ask me, who would be that guy this year, I would think it'd be Ja'Kai Clark, just because he's already in his fourth year. He's not a baby anymore. He's the experienced guy. So I think he probably feels comfortable in that role. And he did that in high school. I know that he was that kind of player in high school. Receiver, I think Keyshawn Smith, he's the one returning starter. He's a kid from California who, is he an alpha? I don't know that he's an alpha, but he's certainly, he could be the leader of that room just because he's been experienced and he's got, he's not scared to talk, right? He's not afraid to voice his opinion. The running back room, it's kind of like whoever emerges, and we honestly don't know. I mean, it should be Jalen Knighton, but
but he could be just a great player. He may not be a leader. He may not be a guy that is rattling cages. That's the interesting part when we talk about this head coach. Mario played on a line where several of those guys could have been leaders, including Mario. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's interesting.
Different era, brother. Just different era kids.
Because Mario comes from a time where I could have found three guys just on his position that were freaking studs in the locker room.
I think part of this is youth because so many of their best players are the youngest players. Oh, they're the guys who are going into their second year.
We don't know them, right?
And it's hard to go into a locker room and be vocal when you haven't done anything. Now, a guy like James Williams on defense at safety, without question, he is an alpha. He is a guy who now going into his second year.
He's that guy,
right? You don't have Bubba Bolden or some of these older guys who are like, hey, young, and like they're gone now. So it's his room, right? Him and Cam Kitchens are the two guys. Him and Avante Williams as well. Those three guys. But I think without question, James Williams is one of those guys. And then, linebacker, you've got the transfer Caleb Johnson who came over from UCLA. It's hard to come in and as a transfer when you haven't been around much, but hopefully he's the guy because he's a fifth-year guy. One of the older guys in that room, maybe he comes in and takes over, him or Keontra Smith. And then I'd say on the defensive line, Leonard Taylor is without question one of those, just like James Williams, those five-star guys who dominate at the high school level and then come and they have it in them naturally. But again, he's entering his second year, and there's some older guys around him, so I don't know if he fits into that role. But those were the guys I would identify as sort of the alpha males. And I would say Tyreek Stevenson for sure, because he already came in last year from Georgia, started, and was one of the better cornerbacks in the ACC. So I would say in the cornerback room, no question, it's Tyreek Stevenson.
Yeah, those Denzel Perrimans, those Ed Reeds. It's so important to have some of those vocal leaders, those guys that can take over, a locker room. De'Aaron King was that, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I think Tyler's that guy for sure. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, he's the leader of the offense, hands down.
But you made the best point because they're so young. We're in the process of developing those kind of guys because they haven't been through adversity yet. They haven't gone through the successes yet to go through then the valleys of it, to then be able to say, okay, this is what we've got to do to get back on track. And I think that's Mario's thing now. Not only is he developing a culture and a team, but he's got to now start to develop a legacy of leaders from one group to another every 2, 3, 4 years, where they hand the baton off to that next guy. And I think that's what starts now. It starts now with all that.
And I would say that they've certainly identified guys in this recruiting class that fit that bill. These elite 5-star and 4-star kids. I think they are more of that, sort of alpha mindset for sure. And even the kids in this most recent class, Cyrus Moss, for instance, he's going to be a true freshman this year. He may only play on third downs. He may only play, late in the year whenever some of the other guys are out with injuries. But I think going into 2023, 2024, those are the guys that'll be looked at as the leaders because, they have it in them. They're not devoid of that kind of stuff.
What are you working on over at The Athletic so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, I put out a couple podcasts this week. One with Andrew Farrelly from South Florida Express talking about recruiting, and then another one with our Gators beat writer Alan Taylor, because Miami's been kicking Florida's ass in recruiting a lot of these head-to-head battles for these elite kids. And so you've probably been on Twitter and seen these little memes and stuff of Mario, his head on some character beating up a Billy Napier character. So those have been going around. I'll have a roundtable that'll come out, an article with my buddy Alan Taylor, who covers the Gators.
Nothing against Billy Napier, but you look at Mario Cristobal and you look at Billy Napier. I want to play for Mario Cristobal. I'm just sorry. I just
different animal, man.
I look at Mike Norville and I look at Mario Cristobal and I want to play for Mario Cristobal, bro. I'm just
and it's been a long time since Miami's had that guy in charge, because they weren't beating the Gators for kids and they weren't beating the Seminoles for kids, and so
weren't beating Alabama either, by the way.
Right, or right, getting kids, taking kids from Ohio State, right?
Yeah, I know. Malik, what was it? Malik chose Miami over Alabama, Clemson. What was it? Florida, and there was one more, wasn't it?
There was I think he visited Maryland as well, because Locksley used to be an assistant in Alabama. So those.
Holy shit! It's okay, great. This is awesome. Now you're beating the real schools for talent, and that's what I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
We edged Air Force and Wake Forest and Eastern Connecticut for this wide receiver. Yay!
It's a different animal, brother. And by the way, camp, of course, starts a week from today. There will be some media events, and I think you asked me on the last show about Canes Fest. Literally 2 hours after that is when they announced it. I
saw that.
I didn't want to put any information out at the time until they had, so because God forbid you say something they don't want you to put out there. But yes, they were working on something, and obviously it came back after a couple of years of COVID. So
why not in Fort Lauderdale, by the way? What happened?
Well, I think they're just doing it at the facility, right? It's essentially just making it easy for the players because they'll be practicing, and I think fans who do go to Canes Fest,
yes.
Yeah, so it'll be easy for them to watch.
Got to rent buses, got to rent a driver, gas, all that stuff.
And Mario's about the work, bro. He doesn't care about all to him. Okay, you want to come watch? You want to come get autographs from these kids? Come sit in the hot sun where we are here in our facilities. And then go inside to the AC, so the kids can sign autographs. So just simple. And I would say, something else. I had a conversation last night with somebody. I know the ACC, they're having meetings every week about this realignment thing. I know we didn't get too much into it, and I don't know if you got to go soon, but I would say that we
run this bitch, baby. We do whatever we want here. Okay? So go ahead, man. Knock yourself out.
I was just gonna say, I had a conversation with someone last night who basically said that every week the ACC leaders and administrators are getting together to talk about realignment and what they're going to do to try to sweeten the deal with the ESPN, and I think the original concept that I reported right when UCLA and USC took off for the Big Ten, that story that came out later that night that I was a part of, as far as redistributing funds in certain schools making more money than others, is probably the first step of what they'll do here to try to sweeten things up for schools like Clemson and potentially Miami if they start winning big, right? If the Hurricanes start winning big, they'll probably end up getting a bigger take of the pie versus equal distribution. So I think that's something to watch for. Obviously Notre Dame, the ACC would love to convince them to play here, but I think the ACC is also keeping its eyes open to potentially other teams that could bring them up to 16 that are worth the value. So
So let me ask you something. Why doesn't Ruiz just pay the
exit fee?
The exit fee to get, listen to me. Now listen to me. Hold on a second. John, I'm not wasting all your money here, okay? I'm going Mickey Arison style.
Right.
Follow me on this, okay? Because most people forget about this shit. It's like they forget about Rick Sanchez hanging around with San Pedro back in the day. Listen, people forget about this. Mickey Arison said, "Oh, wait a minute, you guys are having some issues. Okay, no problem. I'll build the arena, and then you pay me back $6 million a year for the next. I think it was like 30 years, so 6 times 30. I think that's what the arena costs or something, if I remember correct. I'm going off my memory, which is not bad actually." For an old fart like myself, but I think it was something. Can you look it up? Yeah, you're already doing it. Can you look up how Mickey Arison did? But I think it was something like that. That he paid for the arena because they would have to go through the voting and all that, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll approve it." He goes, "Okay, look, I'll build it, but then we agree that you're going to pay me back like I think it's $6 million a year for 30 years, and then they pay him back for that arena." Okay, so what's the exit fee? 150, 200, 250 million? How much is it?
I mean, the problem is the contract's through 2036, and the rough estimates that I've heard, it would be over $300 million.
Okay,
so you do it right now.
So Ruiz pays $300 million. They get out. They get into the SEC. They cut the new deal, and then the $100 million that they get every year, they give Ruiz back $10 million every year for the next 25, 30 years. He gets his money back. He's a billionaire. He's fine with it, and he can use that money if he wants to give back into the whole thing. Could you do something like that?
You could, but here's the key sticking point in all of this, and this is something.
See, John, I had you getting your money back. Okay,
you could.
I had you getting your money back. See, I'm helping you out.
You could, and it would be a tremendous commitment from John Ruiz. These millionaires and billionaires don't become that because they're just giving away money too. So 300 million is a lot of money. But I would say this. I think the key sticking point in this for Miami fans to remember is ESPN.
By the way, under a 97 construction agreement, the county gave away a $38 million piece of land so Arison could erect a $213 million venue, plus it okayed a $6.4 million annual subsidy for operating the arena for the next 30 years. How good am I, bro?
You are a badass, brother. You are a badass. My memory is not that good. Not that good.
I tell you, 6 years, 30, it was 6.4. How about that, baby?
Yeah, you were money. You were money.
How about that? But that's what I'm talking about. Something like that maybe could work. John,
it could.
John? What do you think, John? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
I think, look, it's through 2036, and the key sticking point I was told last night was the fact that ESPN owns the rights, and so you can't really go anywhere unless ESPN is cool with it. Like, it's that kind of a behemoth here to fight. So,
but don't they own the SEC rights too?
They do, but here's the thing: they also own the ACC rights, and so it depends. It depends on what ESPN ultimately values, right? The stick in Miami in the SEC make it that much more sexy and exciting, or just keeping them in the ACC that needs the ratings better business for ESPN?
Miami Auburn, Miami LSU, Miami Georgia, Miami Alabama. Oh no, baby, let's go.
Well, here's one thing I think.
Florida. Let's go, man. Come on.
Here's one thing I can tell you.
That's Halle Berry sexy.
Well, but here's what they could do also, okay? And right now there's 9 conference games in the SEC, 8 in the SEC and the ACC rather.
Mm-hmm.
They could just set up those TV matchups and just have these teams, the ACC and SEC, do crossover games in the non-conference, and just create those TV matchups that way without having to move. So yes,
those are only few and far between every year. It's only going to be 1, maybe 2. I doubt you even do 2, because if you're playing your ACC schedule, I doubt you're going to play 2 SEC teams.
But here's the issue.
But if you're playing an SEC schedule, you could play 3 or 4 of those beauties every year, and that's
yes. But I'm just saying, as an alternative to Miami going to the SEC, right? Keeping them in the ACC, which I think right now they're fine with, because again, the gap is not that big yet. There's time before it gets there where it's 70, 80, 90 million dollars in difference, and I think that they believe that ESPN is going to work with them to sweeten the pie. So there is something's going to happen at some point here, and probably at the end of the season.
But it's not so much about sweetening the pie. It's about strengthening your conference. It's about getting better teams in there, bro.
But if there's no better teams out there, I mean, the thing is, who do you add to the ACC right now? Right. And that's the thinking. It's not right now. The ACC is not thinking about splitting apart. That's not the conversation. The conversation is, how do we raise our profile to make more money?
Hey, let me get lazy. Notre Dame.
Besides Notre Dame, I'm saying.
I know. That's what I was. That's why I was being facetious, because outside of Notre Dame, it's like, okay, who's left now? Who do you really want from those other three conferences that aren't, or two conferences that aren't the Big Ten and SEC? Because you're not going to pull any of them from those. So it's going to be from the Pac-12 or 10 or 8 or whatever's left. And
Pac-10, no, I think it is, yeah.
And the big 4, 6, 8. What's left of it? I don't know what
the Big 12. Well, they just added those 4 teams, right? BYU and Cincinnati and UCF and all those. So
BYU's a powerhouse, bro. That would have been like, people don't realize.
Well, it's all about the TV network
and all that stuff. But BYU's got a hell of a following, man.
Yeah, and our Andy Staples,
the ACC, but that would have been good money to bring in. In other words,
Andy Staples did a study of the TV ratings from, I think, 2015 to 21. How many teams drew more than 1 million viewers? And I think Miami is 5th on the list with 22 games that had over 1 million viewers, because that's what's considered profitable, right? Over 1 million views. And I think Clemson, Florida State were 1 and 2, and then I think it was Oregon, Washington, and then Miami in terms of non-SEC, non-Big Ten schools. So obviously Oregon and Washington are it, because they're the only 2 teams that, in my mind, make the ACC better. But are they, like, how do they fit into that mold? And this whole thing about, traveling and, the other sports. So I don't know what the ACC does, though, but my point here,
Oregon, Washington, Utah, is Utah moving?
No, Utah's still in the Pac-12.
I'd take Utah, bro. Utah beat Oregon twice last year. Utah's one of those programs. You don't go taking them lightly or anything like that. They'll smack you in the mouth, dude. They're not that bad.
They're not. They're not. But the Big 12 is closer in geographically, and I would say that the Big 12 is probably the next beyond the other 2 conferences, the SEC and Big 10. I would say the Big 12 right now is positioned to be the 3rd best.
Plus, Mario gets to get revenge on Utah for beating him twice now.
That would be good.
So now he'll go, see, now I got real players, you bastard. I crushed your ass.
We'll
Utah
see.
42-10, and then you beat me with some ducks.
I think Utah's got a chance to get to the playoff this year. I'll tell you that. I think that they.
Sure.
I think I would make them that 4th team that makes it after the 2 SEC and the Big Ten champ, which will be Ohio State. So, I think that's the playoff this year. But anyway, man, it's interesting, and I'll tell. And I guess more than anything is for the listeners,
pass that idea on to Ruiz.
I will. I guess the bigger thing is just so people know, yes, things are happening. There are conversations being had by ACC leaders. So
there are, I always tell people, there's a lot of bad getting old. Your body's breaking down, all that stuff. But you have some perspective, and history is in your head. And, so I just say, Ruiz, go Mickey Harrison style, baby.
Just do it, baby.
Just do it, man. Just get us into the SEC. All right, buddy. What are you working on in the Athletic so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, just what I was saying. There's going to be a couple of depth chart breakdowns. Camp starts on Friday. That'll be coming out next week. And my little roundtable with our Florida beat writer, that'll be coming out this weekend. So there's plenty to read.
And follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. You, sir, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you as always.
All right, I'll take care, brother.
You got it. There you go. The great Manny Navarro. And remember, Caneswear, you order online over $99, you will get free shipping at caneswear.com. Go visit them at 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Great people there. Brett at Caneswear. Also, want to tell you, our show is proudly brought to you by Liquor Split. Tonight, while you're watching the Marlins game, maybe while you're watching news, maybe while you're having a meeting, maybe while you're in the middle of a party or a get-together with friends or family members, and you run out of liquor. And now you want to run to the liquor store? No. We don't, especially if you've been drinking. We don't want you drinking and driving. Or maybe you're headed to a party and you forgot. You're headed home. Now you can grab your app, iOS or Android, download the app, Liquor Split. Doesn't matter where you're at in Miami, whether you're in Liberty City or Brickell or Virginia Gardens or Little Havana or Wynwood or Upper East Side or Little Haiti or Cocoa Plum or West Miami or Overtown or Allapattah, Fontainebleau, Doral. Download the app, Liquor Split, iOS or Android. Tap that app. You want to get your favorite liquor. You want to get a little vodka, a little whiskey, a little rum, some beer, some smokes, some snacks. They've got it all for you there at liquorsplit.com. Flat fee delivery of $2.99. Just under $3. That's it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to get in the car. You don't have to do all the hassling, nothing. $1 of it goes to helping homelessness in Miami. Download the app, tap the app, and tap it, baby. Liquorsplit.com. Use our code BIG015. You will get 15% off your first order. BIG015, 15% off your first order at liquorsplit.com or iOS or Android. Download the app. There you go. All right. If you want to get in on the program, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. We await Omar Kelly. Now, Omar is at camp, all right? So he is going to try to join us. He's supposed to join us now. This is his time at 11:30, but he told me that he was going to have some issues with camp today. So he will join us probably a little later if he can, but he'll try to chime in. We'll see. We'll try to get the guys from camp. We're also trying to get Cameron Wolf. Let's see. I think Cam will be tomorrow. So tomorrow I will be doing a show in the afternoon after practice. Cameron Wolf will join me in after practice. All right. There we go. 11:45. Okay, so Omar will join us in about 12 minutes at 11:45. So there you go. What's that? All right, maybe. All right, so there you go. I mean, they're working right now, so I understand all of that, and we'll adjust, and we'll get that going. I'm not worried about that. Also, next week, Inside the Paint returns. We do have a minor change on there, or a major change, actually, because it is another co-host. Instead of Clay, and we appreciate and love everything that Clay has done, we are going with Kurt Heelan now, who is going to be doing it with Ira Winderman. And Kurt obviously runs the NBA basketball, the pro basketball talk page for NBC Sports. And this gives us an insider on the national level with the NBA, along with Ira, who knows the Heat inside and out, and obviously the league too. And this gives you two excellent insiders every single week on Inside the Paint. And I'm looking forward to it. And we thank RedRecover.com, who has expanded their partnership with us, and they will be the new sponsors of the Inside the Paint show. So that will start next week on Wednesday, like always, at 9 a.m. I got to tell you, when I talked to Kurt Heelan about this, oh, yeah, maybe that day we might go to camp. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be the second day. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, they're in pads. Yeah. So we'll definitely go Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll see what we got to do now. It's a bit of a challenge there for that first show. Plus, he's and Kurt Heelan's a tough guy, bro. Because when I talked to him about this, I go, you realize it is 6 a.m. when we're over there for you. So he is going to get up early to do Inside the Paint. But I told him he does get a break a couple times a year. When Ira goes out to the West Coast and he's traveling, and Ira wants to do the show at noon, I told him, hey, man, you get a break. When Ira's out in the West Coast, there'll be 2 or 3 shows where you get to do it at 9 a.m. So you get to sleep in 2 or 3 times a year till 9 a.m. So he was happy about that. And we're happy about it also. I think it's a really, really good thing. And I think it gives the show another edge to it. And we're always looking for an edge here, bro. Not just Edge Energy Drink, which, of course, you can get 10% off at myedgedrink.com. Have you tried it yet? I tell you all the time about Edge Energy Drink. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. I think people don't believe me when I tell them that. I think that's right, because all energy drinks have it. That one doesn't. And as an elixir, it is the bomb. So I'm just telling you, myedgedrink.com. Use our code Big O, get 10% off. Can't get it in stores. Got to get it delivered online. myedgedrink.com. I promise you, you will love it. And when you mix it up with a little vodka or a little rum, oh my God, it is the bomb. myedgedrink.com. Billy Napier won't make the Gators a challenger in the SEC. He'll be gone in 3 seasons. We shall see. We shall see. Does the ACC's dominance in basketball have anything to do with this realignment decision? Harold, football's never worried about basketball, my friend. Okay, let's just get that. Oh, and by the way, Harold, college basketball nowadays. College basketball is a joke, man. It's an absolute and total joke. College basketball nowadays. It's nothing. It's a shell of what it used to be. There is no star quality in college basketball. So, yeah, college basketball, yeah, years ago, yeah, we were talking about it. Nowadays, college basketball is a side betting sport during the tournament. During the regular season, it doesn't matter anymore. It's like I was laughing my ass off. What's that idiot golfer that wanted to go see a UNC Duke game? And he went and missed the tournament. Oh, no, it was a country singer. A country singer that canceled a concert to go to a Tar Heels Duke game. And I'm like, you schmuck. A Tar Heels Duke game means nothing nowadays. What are you talking about? These players are nothing nowadays. This isn't real Tar Heel Duke basketball that you watched like real stars go at it for 2-3 years in a row, that it really builds up a real rivalry. That's a hollow rivalry based on the past. The history created by Christian Laettner and Michael Jordan and Sam Perkins and everybody else in the history of that series. Nowadays, Duke UNC is nothing, dude. Garbage. It's just another basketball game. I mean, it's just college basketball is nothing. It's just nothing anymore. It's funny to me. It's hilarious to me how people want to try to make college basketball something. It's a notch above high school. No impact anymore. We don't talk about college basketball anymore like we used to. I mean, we literally used to talk about college basketball and games and big moments and rivalries and all that kind of stuff. What we saw with Duke and UNLV for 2 straight years, that's college basketball. Not the garbage you have now, these little kids playing that you barely even know who the hell they are. What are you going to say?
It was Eric Church.
Who's Eric Church? What are we talking?
The country singer.
Oh, that idiot. Yeah, that moron.
And a question for you.
I mean, you're going to a Duke UNC game 20 years ago and 30 years ago and 40 years ago. Okay, great.
It's still real to them, damn it.
I know. Like, give me a break, dude. Duke UNC is nothing nowadays.
Oh, just because it's being asked here in the chat.
What?
I would like to get your take on this.
What do we have here?
You know the orange jersey now in practice, right? What it symbolizes.
The music thing.
The player of the day, and then they get to pick the music.
Right.
Today it was on Liam Eichenberg.
Ooh, ton of country.
Yeah, well, that too, but what do you think?
And rock?
Player of the day? He was player of the day before? Because that's what the orange jersey is. That means he had one of the best practice.
Yeah.
Going to an offensive lineman?
Well, I guess he must have had all the right mental assignments.
Oh, okay.
He was positioned the right way for all the plays that they needed.
Mhm.
So that's probably what they did with him and again, it's kind of a way you build up confidence too at the same time. Okay, now you're doing these things mentally. Again, I don't take much without pads. I don't really look into the running game that much. But in this case, I can understand. I know what they were doing. I do understand what they were doing. So he must have been positioned the right way and made the right decisions in his assignments. And that's probably what they like, because I'm sure last year, as we all know, brother, when they stunted and they did whatever, they tricked our line left and right.
They're running into each other.
And our guys were just whiffing and they didn't know what to block. So the fact that Liam Eichenberg knew who to block, probably on most downs, he was graded. They looked at it and they said, hey, man, he did a hell of a job. And by the way, he played for Notre Dame. They know how to produce linemen. They know how to coach them. We didn't know how to coach them last year. I kept telling you that. These guys know how to coach them. I keep telling you this. They did not draft 5 bad offensive linemen. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 of them are bad, but not all 5. And you're going to see a couple of these guys. They're going to turn out to be good linemen. And you're going to say, oh, okay, yeah, it wasn't them. It was the coaching. That's all. So I think Liam Eichenberg probably, got that. Now the best part is most of the guys that are on the beat probably don't know a lot about country and rock, except for, well, on the rock side, I know Pooh Part. I don't think any of those guys are country guys. So, or Ruthie, I don't know if she's there or not. But yeah, that's so they may not know the songs, so they're gonna have to ask of those songs. But I am interested to see what Liam Eichenberg had on the playlist. That I want to see the playlist.
Ask
for
Omar, maybe if you'll even know.
Yeah, well, if it's country and rock, he will not know one song at all. I can tell you that. Big O, I think, too, is really good at his post-snap reads, but I think the area where he needs the most opportunity to grow, especially if the O-line isn't great, is in his pre-snap reads. Chris, I disagree with you completely. I think he understands all of it mentally. I don't think any of it has to do with him being bad at any of that whatsoever. I think he's really smart, and I think he really knows how to read all this stuff. I think Tua will be just fine. What Tua has to get used to is the game speed, the decision-making at this level. He knows what to do. It's just a matter of quarterbacks have to adjust from high school to college and then college to the NFL. And then the coaching goes along with it. So now he's going to have a grasp of the scheme, what they're trying to do, and he's now going to have confidence in what he has to do. And I think that that's what's going to be good for him. I guess that's Omar Kelly popping in. All right, let's do it. Let's go with it. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins football. Omar Kelly and the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. Ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Omar Kelly. How you doing, my man? You doing good? Oh, do we have him? Is he ready? No, he's frozen. He's frozen in time.
And do my work.
I don't know. Well, maybe it depends. You're frozen.
You hear me?
Kind of. You're broken up. It's not a good connection right now. Okay.
I think it just went to the Wi-Fi, so we should be good.
Okay, let's see.
Can you hear me?
All right, how you feeling? Yeah, no, I hear you fine now. All right, there you go. Oh, you're in the stairs.
I'm good, man.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm good. No, it just connected to the Wi-Fi, so we should be good.
All right, so how was practice today? No bad news, no injuries, right?
Yeah, no injuries. Same injuries, Michael Dieter, Adam Butler. Practice was okay. Tua threw an interception. Javon Holland picked him off, but he also had a deep touchdown pass to Braylon Sanders.
Wow, why am I hearing that name now constantly now? Is he actually doing something out there?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. I haven't really noticed him that much.
Well, he had a nice catch yesterday, and so now again today, I'm like, wow, okay, Braylon Sanders. Who the hell is that kid? All right, good for him at least, making a little name for himself there. Not bad. All right, so what else? And you know what? That's you gotta see successes on both sides. I mean, that's kind of normal. That's what it's going to be. Tua's going to have his success, and you got to expect Javon Holland to have some success because he's going to have success against Tua and against Mac Jones and against Joe Burrow and against any other quarterback that he plays, because Javon Holland should be the kind of player that has his successes against great players too.
Yeah, he's had a second straight strong day of practice. Obviously, you know, despite what my peers want you to know, it's kind of hard to evaluate where the wide receivers are because they're going against, no disrespect, but Trill Williams and Nick Needham and who else is there? And Noah Igbenogany. And I'm sorry, but none of those guys can cover Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Well, most people can't.
Most people can't. So it'll be interesting.
Jalen Waddle caught 100 and some passes, knowing that it was going to him. They had no offensive line, and they knew Tua was going to him, and they still couldn't stop him. So most people can't stop those guys. So that's not really. It's like when people tell me, "Well, yeah, no, Eric Rowe does a decent job, but he struggles against Darren Waller," and I'm like, "Bro, I want to slap you right now." Like everybody struggles against Darren Waller. Yeah. It's Darren effing Waller, bro. He's a stud. Everybody's going to struggle against Travis Kelce. I don't care who you are, bro. You're going to struggle against Travis Kelce. You're going to give up plays. You know what I mean? So now the real question is, have you seen something from Trill and Noah that you do like outside of course, Waddle and Tyreek getting the best of them? I mean, hell, Noah did get the best of one play against Tyreek in the first day. So have you seen anything else from Noah or Trill?
Not enough to be counted on.
Okay.
And that's no, like, I'm at the point now where depth at cornerback is becoming a concern for me. And there's no reason why Tyreek and Waddle should be running as wide open as they are. So, I've seen practice for 15 years. I'm pretty adept at knowing what I'm looking at. And either Mike McDaniel is the greatest play caller, most creative, innovative coach of the world, or you have two uncoverable wide receivers. And I just think that's wishful thinking, not necessarily reality.
It could be a little bit of both. It could be he is a good offensive coordinator. It also could be nobody rarely has two twin turbo jets on each side of the field.
And that's wishful thinking.
I'm trying. I don't think you're giving enough credit to the fact that it's almost impossible to stop those two guys like that. I don't think anybody has two corners that are going to be able to slow those guys down. Those guys are going to get open on everybody at one point or another.
That's true, and that's fair. I just don't expect Tyreek Hill to be as open as he is, as often as he is right now. If he is,
why not?
If he's as open as he is right now, he's going to be the MVP of the NFL. There's no possible way.
He was pretty open in Kansas City without Waddle. Now he's got Waddle, and he's got a pretty damn good tight end. It's not Kelce. It's not Kelce's a grade A tight end. Okay, well, this guy is B+.
Tight end.
But
This guy isn't even a Pro Bowler.
But you got a B+ guy in Gesicki. Okay, he's a damn good tight end. He's the kind of tight end that will scare you as a defensive coordinator. Put it that way. Okay, Smythe may not scare you, but Gesicki will scare you with the kind of catches he can make downfield. So Tyreek now is playing with those two guys. He might be able to be open a lot.
Let's not be a homer. Let's not be a homer. It's going to look different when it's Byron Jones and Xavier Howard on the field. Let's not be a homer. So
I still think they'll get their share of catches.
They will. They're in the NFL. They're going to get their share of catches.
Well, no, they're not just in the NFL. They're the elite of the NFL, right?
Okay, one of them is elite. I'm not going to say Jalen Waddle is elite. He's practiced well.
He's top 20. He's top 20 already in the league.
Okay, I don't count him up, so I'll take your word for it.
You wouldn't put Jalen Waddle in the top 20 in the NFL?
I don't know. Have no idea. Never counted them.
Think about the receivers around the league. You're going to tell me that you're going to name 19 players that caught over 100 balls like him in a bad offense?
I can't sit here. I would never sit here and say that he's going to be a top 20 player. He's a top 20 receiver.
You know that it was very elite what he did last year, right?
It was very nice.
No. Elite.
It was very nice.
When you catch over 100 balls, my brother, with no offensive line, a quarterback that's
with the smallest yard after catch, no rack, and
that's
option routes as a slot receiver.
It's very limited. It's a limited offense, and he did catch passes downfield when he was open. He did catch passes downfield when they're able to do it. But considering that he was the only option on the field, and everybody knew it was going to him, and you still couldn't stop it, that's elite.
Sorry, Gesicki was on the field. Devontae Parker sometimes was on the field, so
Devontae Parker being on the field is like really not being on the field.
Yeah, he's on the field for the Patriots. Let's not crown. Jalen Waddle. I like him. I think he's got a ton of talent. I think he had an awesome day yesterday. He was already the orange jersey player. You're seeing him play at a different speed. I think he's fully healthy. He'll actually admit now that he wasn't fully healthy last year, but
so that really makes him elite.
No.
Oh yeah, no. Not only did he catch over 100 balls with no offense, no offensive line, no offensive coordinator,
I'm not having
a young QB, no running game. He also did it injured. Oh man,
I'm not having this homerific argument with you. He wasn't elite last year, and could he be elite?
Wasn't elite last year.
Could he be elite? Yes, he could be elite. He's going to get a ton of single coverages, like Tyreek. That's what Tyreek does, but. Am I going to say Jalen Waddle is elite right now? Absolutely not. No, can't do it. Will not do it. Cannot say that. Like, the elite players on this team are Xavier Howard, Teron Armstead, Tyreek Hill. End of conversation. That's it.
Oh, I mean, at the moment, yes. But
no. It's not at the moment. And maybe Emmanuel Ogbah. I doubt he'll ever be elite. There are 3 elite players on this team. Jalen Waddle is not one of them. Sorry. He could be eventually. He has the potential to be maybe the best tandem paired with Jalen Waddle with Tyreek Hill, but is he elite? No. Let's not go there. Let's not do that.
Oh, I'm just saying he played at an elite level last year.
He did not.
And not 100%. You know what I'm saying?
He did not. He did not. He had everything shoveled to him because he was misused as a slot receiver. It is what.
So, what'd you think of Tyreek saying that they're scared shitless?
I think
those guys.
I think there's some validity to that. There's too much speed on that field. Like I was watching. How
can you not be scared shitless when it's 2 elite guys?
No, it's not. It's not just 2 elite guys. Mostert today.
You said it. Did you not hear him say it?
Elite speed guys.
2 elite guys. You said it. You knew it.
Okay. Let me correct myself.
Freudian slip.
2 elite speed guys. 2 elite speed guys. I will give him. He's an elite speed guy. You run a 4.3 legit. You're an elite speed guy. And Mostert is very fast. I didn't know how fast he was until I watched him today. He's like really, really fast. And they got a lot of speed. Gesicki's fast. He's a long strider, but he's fast. So there's a lot of speed on the field, but you got to create those plays and those opportunities. And I have a little bit more confidence in Mike McDaniel can do that now than I would have had a month ago or 2 months ago or coming out of OTAs.
Ezukama, what have you seen from him? Because it looks like the last couple of days, the big body receiver making the big body Devontae Parker-like catches. If he can do it without injuries, that might be pretty good.
Let's not go there. He had a good touchdown play today on one-on-ones. But
so 3 days in a row he's made a play because he's made the two big catches the last 2 days.
When a rookie shows up every single day, like Preston Williams did, then I'll pay attention and take notice. Until then, it's like, okay, you make a guest star and co-star appearance and it's cool. But Ezukama he's just a guy right now.
But you don't give him any love for at least right away doing something.
Did you understand? Did you understand what I said?
I understand what you're saying, but
when a rookie, not an undrafted player, but when a rookie shows up, Preston Williams showed up and he was dominant for weeks. Every day.
I remember that.
Every day. And look where Preston Williams is now. Look where he is now.
Right.
So, like I'm not giving Ezukama like.
But there's a reason why Preston Williams fell out of the draft, and that's why he is where he is now. Whereas Eric Ezukama actually got drafted because
what is this obsession with you and receivers today? What is going on here?
Isn't it a passing league, Sean?
Like,
isn't it a passing league?
Why are we talking? Are we going to talk about Braylon Sanders next? Like,
we already did. We already talked about Braylon Sanders.
Let's go down the next receiver, Mohamed Sanu. You got big plans for him too?
No. Sanu is just a camp body.
What about Ripper Craycraft?
No, he's there just in case the other guy gets injured. What's his name?
Trent Sherfield?
Yeah, he made the team already. So
Lynn Bowden Jr. hasn't done a thing.
Yeah, with I kept telling everybody that Lynn Bowden's got a very long road to make it on this team, man. He better prove himself, and he better prove himself at on special teams also. He better be a difference maker.
You know what's interesting about his situation, and this is not an excuse. Because I don't allow excuses. He is in his third offense now. The issue is always fourth offense because he started in Oakland last year. The issue has always been understanding, processing, getting the offense down. But he's a former quarterback. You should be able to do that. And also, he's a slot receiver. So you're running option routes most of the time. Why have you not shown the talent that you have? Like, this is a puzzling thing for me.
Hey, Preston Williams, bro. It's the same thing. Super blessed.
Wow.
And you just don't know what the hell's going on. It happens all. Omar,
it does.
You've been around long enough.
It does.
In every sport, dude, I've run into those guys that you go, God, bro, the good Lord gave you every ability in the world. And this is what you're going to do.
I remember having a conversation with Brian Hartline, and this conversation truly stood out to me. And it was really a conversation about
the guy that wasn't blessed with a ton of ability, but maxed it completely out.
Why you succeeded and Patrick Turner didn't. Remember Patrick Turner?
Of course. Yes.
More athletic ability, pedigree from his upbringing. And Brian Hartline was like, intelligence,
right?
And
dedication, because Turner wasn't completely dedicated to his craft either.
The majority of the times, and he said that's to me so long ago in his career. I don't remember what season it was, but he was like, the majority of times when a guy succeeds or fails, it's because of their intelligence.
Yeah.
And it separates the chaff from, I forget what the saying is, but
that midget Mark Kelso for the Bills, who was an amazing special teamer, and he looked like the great Gazoo from the Jetsons, playing on the field with that big ass helmet. And why do you think he makes it? Because he's got balls and he's smart as hell and he worked hard. And some of those guys, you've been around this enough. You know it. Some football coaches will tell you, yeah, the athlete's great. Give me the football player. Okay, this guy might be a half a second slower.
I want the intelligent.
Right. You're right. That's the football player. The football player is the guy that's always in the right place at the right time. That's the guy they want. Zach Thomas was a great football player. He wasn't a great athlete. He wasn't Brian Urlacher. He didn't have Derek Brooks' speed.
Don't say that. I hate when people say that because
it's the truth. He wasn't blessed with those freakish abilities of a Derek Brooks or Urlacher. And yet he was as good as those guys or better. Well, Brooks was a monster, but whatever. And it's just one of those things that sometimes the intelligence and the work ethic just takes you to the next level because you're that dedicated. And that's why Brian Hartline, who wasn't extremely talented, had two 1,000-yard seasons.
Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons.
And that's because he had balls, bro, because he was tough.
And he's one of the best wide receiver coaches in college football right now. And a guy who is destined to do great things. Like, look at the product of talent that he's produced out of Ohio State. It is sensational.
Yeah, I'm with you. He just knows football, man. He knows football. So Liam Eichenberg was the guy playing with the orange jersey today. So
see, everybody's putting their practice reports but me because I'm here talking to Big O. So Liam Eichenberg was the orange jersey guy from yesterday. Wait
a minute before you go. He's got "I Am What I Am" by King Von and Fivio Foreign playing during stretch. Fabio, whatever, I don't know. He put Fivio. So
Fabio. There was a mishap. There was a mishap with his playlist, so they had to play his stretch songs over and over again 3-4 times, and then the equipment crew actually texted the media relations to clarify it so that we don't kill him. But we will be asking a lot of playlist questions because we're going to talk to him today. I stereotyped his ass. I expected some country and some rock. No. There was some AC/DC. There was a very.
How the hell somebody told you it was AC/DC because you didn't know it was AC/DC, right?
That is correct. Pupar told me it was AC/DC. And
Pupar was the other guy in this rock.
There was another rock song that I recognize. I can't tell you what it is right now, but it was. I like it. I like it. So
the way I read into it, because they're not really hitting, but he was the player of the day. And I was explaining to people, it's probably because they looked at the film and he made all the right decisions. He was in the right places at the right time.
Sometimes it's also not just a buildup of you were just the best yesterday. It's a buildup of consistent performance.
Yeah.
Which is, because Jalen Waddle didn't do anything when he got player of the day, but it was a buildup of strong practices, and then when he was wearing the red jersey, he was unstoppable. So there's a lot of psychology to this. Like Trill Williams didn't get the player of the day, even though he had a pick six, because the consistency wasn't there, and they were looking for consistency, and I can totally understand. I'm starting to get Mike McDaniels a lot more. I'm starting to see and understand his offense a lot more, gain an appreciation for it. And hopefully I'm not going to say anything or make predictions until I see him against some joint practices, but I like where they're going. I like where they're headed.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far too. And I think overall, is there anything else that a name out of left field that caught your eye? Just out of curiosity as we wrap it up here.
Name out of left field that caught my eye. You're doing a camp report today. It's not out of left field. Jalen Phillips looks like a stud. Okay. Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland, Waddle, they all are beginning to look like players.
It's just hard for me to look at Phillips right now until they're hitting. You know what I mean? I'm expecting him to grow too at the same time.
No, you could feel that if you feel a guy's presence every day, like those are the guys who are practicing well. And like I forget who was doing this, like Christian Wilkins. No, not really. That's not even fair. I can't tell you a guy who you start to feel his presence, but you when you start to feel a guy, Duke Riley is a guy who is practicing very, very well. He had an interception today.
Oh, good for him. I like him.
Duke Riley is a guy that I do not count out. He's practicing every
Talk about a worker, by the way. Talk about a guy that brings it every day, like we talked about Brian Hartline.
Yeah.
That there's a guy that's a really hard worker that is busting his ass to make a name for himself. I'm impressed with Duke Riley. I've been impressed with him since they signed him.
Yeah, it is very, very. The linebacker unit is the unit that troubles me the most. Cornerback is probably jumping over linebacker right now, just because one of those top two guys goes down, you're in trouble. Not like no disrespect to the Nick Needhams, but now Nick Needham goes on the boundary. So who's your slot? Who's your nickel?
Right.
Now you're relying on
but you're getting a little ahead. Let's give these kids some time. Maybe they show us something different. It's only a couple of days of non-padded practice.
I'm all for it. You are practicing it against Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I'm all for the growth. Yeah. No, there ain't much better you're gonna see on a given day. But
hey, listen, if you want to get ready for Stephon Diggs, at least go cover Tyreek, and maybe you'll pick up a few things along the way.
Because Tyreek ain't covered. And I don't know, he's not coverable. And I don't know if that's what he's going up against or if that's the situation or if that's the offense. I need to see this against some joint practices to figure out what's the deal. What's the dealio?
By the way, your 3 songs, Marcel Louis Jacques has tweeted it out. Hell's Bells from AC/DC.
Okay.
I Hate Being Sober from Chief Keef, and Chop Suey from System of a Down.
System of a Down. That's the one I liked.
I would have never, in a million years, I would have never picked Liam Eichenberg to know what the hell.
He was playing
System
some.
of a Down
I think
is.
he was playing some Kodak Black. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had. It was a very interesting, eclectic playlist. We initially were gonna say he's having the top playlist of camp so far, and then they started repeating songs, and we were like, oh. And then the equipment people were like, hey man, it's an error on our part. Don't beat this kid up. And so we understand. It's funny how what people know we pay attention to as the media and I guess our reach. But yeah.
I think it's time for the Dolphins to hire a DJ. It sounds to me like
they have a DJ. He's been doing it for years.
They have an in-house DJ there.
They have the equipment guy. I mean, it would be nice on a Saturday scrimmage.
Not an equipment guy that's cleaning the helmet and then going on and hitting the.
No, he's done. He's done.
A legitimate
Listen,
DJ.
I'm not going to put any disrespect on him. One, this is a reward for the top performers. But the guy who used to do it for 3 coaches now, he's always done a very good job. He's always worked extremely. I don't know his name, but I know he's the equipment guy. He does the speakers. He handles the sound, and he's been responsible for the music for practice for years.
Okay, so today there's an aberration, is what you're saying.
No. I mean, something.
We don't need to go to the bench. Okay.
Yes, it's a challenge. Every player who's got the plays, they say they have to come in earlier for practice because they're responsible for the playlist. Like, it is a responsibility. So, you can't just show up and give them like the list. Here, my list of songs. Like, you have to show up.
You can't email it to them, and that's it. Just say, look, here are the songs. That's it.
There's some serious, people take this as a very serious responsibility. Like, this is the greatest honor that you can get on a daily basis.
He picked System of a Down. I am a big Eichenberg fan now.
I like the song. I don't know. I've heard that song before, and I really like it. The energy that it has. So
it's a great song. Chop Suey is an awesome song, dude.
Chop Suey, that's what it is. I'm gonna put it on my playlist right now.
Yeah, and it's
gonna propose.
If Hell's Bells doesn't jack you up, you're dead. Probably.
Yes. And is going to propose that the media gets a playlist day.
By the way, really? That's nice. Yeah. I'd rock that place out. Listen, when I saw that concert, Angus was hanging from the bell at the top of the auditorium.
Okay, cool.
And the bell comes all the way down with him hanging on the bell.
Mm-hmm.
Comes down to the stage and he gets off and he grabs the hammer and bong.
Oh,
bong. And
yeah.
That barn is just going nuts because I don't know, did you ever get to go to a concert in the Hollywood Sportatorium, which was just
I've
this
never
big aluminum barn full of weed? So yeah, it was an experience. It was an experience. I'll tell you that. That was a lot of fun. All right, what are you working on the Sun Sentinel for now at least, so folks can check you out?
Yeah, we can make that announcement. I'm leaving the Sun Sentinel for
okay.
Who don't know.
I have not said anything, but
it's out there. But
hopefully you're staying with us.
We're working that out. We're figuring that out. We are. I have a column up about Melvin Ingram right now. He's got a Veteran Day practice day today. Forced his way onto the practice field. This is a guy who's got a lot to prove, trying to prove that he's still an elite player. I don't know if he can, but and I talk about all the issues. I mean, 33 years old. You know what time it is.
Oh yeah. Of course.
You know what time it is. So does the rest of the NFL, which is why you're here. But he feels
the only good thing I would say is the last couple of years he doesn't have a starter's load on him.
He's never had a starter's load. I've actually looked at the snap count for throughout his entire career. I don't think there's been a season he's passed 700 snaps.
Really? Wow.
Which was very interesting to me.
Wow.
Okay. So he's had a relatively low snap count. I think he's a 500 snap guy here. The question is, he's got some tricks and he's got some bendability. The question is, can he do it on a consistent basis to be paired with what's his name?
Phillips and Agba.
Yeah, I mean Agba's already going to be on the field as a down.
I mean, as a complimentary rusher to those guys.
Yeah. Those three guys on the field together, they should be a force.
Yeah.
No question. And
I got to tell you, I think Van Ginkel's going to have a breakout year this year. I really do. I think that's the guy that I'm looking for to have a breakout year.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
And plus he's got it's contract time, so he's got to really.
That's one kid who will probably never even think about the contract.
I know.
He's a lunch pail kid, and he's just trying to make it to tomorrow.
He has that Javon Holland X-Man thing that he has a knack for the football, man.
Nah, let's not go there.
What do you mean? Why do you say that? He's proven it more than
he's a guard.
Outside of those two guys, he's the other guy that's
Hold on. You just put him in the category of a ball hawk. I would say
he has ball hawk in him. Yes,
I would say he's more of a garbage man.
Let me put it this way to you: he's the only ball hawk in the linebacking core. Boom. End of story. Okay.
He's a garbage man. He cleans things up.
Dude, he forces fumbles. He's around the football, dude. Look at it.
And he cleans it up.
I know what you're saying because you're going Janet Jackson on me right now. What have you done for me lately? He didn't
I've always had respect
nearly as much last year as he did the first 2 years.
No, I've always had respect for Van Ginkel, but he's not an impactful player. He's a cleanup player.
He creates plays, dude. He's around the football.
When have you seen him turn the corner and just ferociously hound the quarterback?
I don't think he's not that guy. I think he's more of
you can't put him in coverage.
I think he's more of a complimentary pass rusher.
He's a complimentary play.
Yes, but I think he has ball hawking skills to his game. That if he's the guy that if one guy's tackling, he's the guy that comes in second and gets that punch.
That's exactly who he is. He's a garbage man.
Right, but those guys are extremely important.
Yes, they are important.
And he has a knack of being
you put him in the category of the ball hawk. I'm putting him in the category of the garbage man.
Oh, no, I think he has ball hawk skills in him.
Ball hawks changed the course of a game. Ball hawks are responsible for a win or two a season.
Well, I'm not saying he's an elite player. I'm saying he has ball hawk skills.
I think there's value.
I'm not saying he's Javon Holland, dude. What I see from Javon
value
Holland,
in being a garbage man and a cleanup guy.
Yeah,
there's value there, but don't ball hawk is a hell of an expectation. That's like saying he's a quarterback hunter. Like you putting some expectations on that man. Let that man just clean up. Let that man just do the work. Get the garbage every day.
I think he's a little better than that. I think
we'll see.
I think he can force some fumbles.
I think he'll never be better than that.
Some plays. I like him. I think he'll have a breakout.
Give me a turnover number for him this year. Give me an impactful play number for him this year.
2.
No, he's got like 5 a year. Come on now, you can do better.
No, but you're talking about plays like that change the game of
impactful play.
I think he'll make a couple of those that gives you a lead or something.
Third down stop for loss, or like he's good for 5-6 again.
He's the guy that gets around, gets to the quarterback, punches the ball, and you get the ball at the 15, and you get an easy touchdown drive. He's that guy, dude. He's that guy. I saw it the first couple of years. I like him, man. I really like Van Ginkel. We'll see. We shall see. Yeah. All right, follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. Catch his work there for now at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. And, of course, catch him here, I hope, for a while here every week here on the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report. Always thank you, my man. Have a great weekend. We will catch up. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be at camp tomorrow.
All right, man. All right.
There you go. Omar Kelly.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions, from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Give your dog the same therapy that many veterinarians use today, but at a fraction of the cost. Pads are available in 3 sizes and come with attachment straps, clips, and an easy-to-use manual. Red Recover can help your dog with arthritic conditions, muscle soreness, intervertebral disc disease, ACL rehabilitation, performance, aging, and general health and happiness. You simply place the pad over the desired area and allow our proprietary Tri-Light therapeutic wrap to penetrate deep into the tissue, where a number of healing parameters will be stimulated. When starting treatment, apply for 10 to 15 minutes daily and lessen the application time as needed for best results. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams. Very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
To beautiful Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, like we are here twice a month. Appreciate all of you out there. We're going to talk a little soccer tomorrow. Inter Miami, big game. It is time. They're in the 11th spot. Cincinnati's in the 7th spot, so they're only 3 points behind Cincinnati. Huge game. Inter taking on Cincy tomorrow. And, of course, Michelle Kaufman covers Inter Miami on a daily basis for the Miami Herald. Follow her on Twitter at Kauf Sports. Michelle, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Cannot complain. First of all, one of the things we love about Mickey Arison is that he and his team, they try to win. Stephen Ross trying to figure out the right combination, but it's not from a lack of trying, always trying to win. Viola and Sifu, they inherited the team and they've made their changes along the way. The team has gotten better. All they try to do is win. We're still waiting for the Marlins to show us commitment, but Inter Miami has shown commitment from day one, building a stadium in Fort Lauderdale for fun because they're basically going to abandon that thing and go to Miami, and that stadium won't be have the same kind of usage anymore. And they made their mistakes with their DPs, fine, but they don't stop trying to win. And, they go and make the move for Pozuelo, and now they make the move for Corentin Coco Jean, and they sign him to a 3-year deal. To me, it is impressive how through all this adversity, even some of the financial issues that they still have, the two of their DP positions are still neutral in a way because they can't do anything with them, hopefully until next year here. And yet somehow or another, Henderson and Moss are finding ways to make moves. I commend them, and I hope that soccer fans are really appreciating this.
Yeah, I think Chris Henderson, we've known from the beginning, Chris Henderson came in here with a stellar reputation. We knew him from when he was a player with Miami Fusion, but he went on to be one of the most respected executives in MLS with Seattle. He really helped build that program, that team up there. And, now he came here and with hands tied behind his back and handcuffed, was able to bring in some really good players. I wish honestly, my one thing, I really loved Lewis Morgan. And I'm sorry that they got rid of him, but he was one of the ones that the other teams wanted. Basically, he was one of the guys that was marketable, that was commanding money from other clubs. So, but yeah, Coco Jean, we talked to him yesterday for the first time, and I put in my story. He scored against PSG at the end of April. He scored with Messi on the field. Messi had scored the first goal.
Saw that.
And it was at the PSG, home field, and PSG was about to win. And all of a sudden, little Coco comes in and scores in the 88th minute, an 88th minute equalizer with Neymar on the field and Mbappe on the field and Messi on the field. So this is a guy who, he's 27 years old. I haven't seen him play yet, so I'm eager to see him play. But what I know about him is that he's 27, which is a really good age.
Yeah, you're not bringing an old fart here. You're bringing
right. He's 27, which is a prime age for soccer, and he has played on big fields against the world's best players. He's not going to be intimidated by anything, and and he's a very versatile player. He said he likes to play as a striker the most. But he's also happy to play on the left wing, on the right wing. He can also play as a 10. He can play as a 10, a 9, a 7, 11. So, he's a guy that is supposed to add speed and creativity and productivity to the offense. The truth is, yes, they want to win, and they've done a lot of good things, and Phil Neville is a great guy, and Chris Henderson is doing a great job. The team has really struggled to score. They have 22 goals in 21 games. Which is lowest in the Eastern Conference and second lowest in the whole league, tied for second lowest in the league. So this team, despite all of its efforts and everything, they really have had trouble finding the back of the net. So one thing I can tell you is Leo Campana, who has missed the past several games, and Ari Lassiter, who also has missed the last several games, they both returned to practice this week.
Awesome.
And they are listed as 50-50, but I would not be surprised if one or both of those players do play. Maybe not the whole game, but I think they both will be back on the field probably. And then you've got Pozuelo and Coco making his debut. This is a game they really need to win. I mean, this is a team that is in their conference, that is ahead of them by exactly 3 points. So if they beat this team, they're tied with them. And this team is in 7th place right now, which is the final playoff spot. Inter Miami's in 11th. They really have to climb into that playoff zone. Otherwise, the season will really be a disappointment. They need to make the playoffs. There are 13 games left. Their next 2 games after this are on the road. So this is really a very critical home game for them.
Explain to folks why he doesn't take a DP spot.
He just doesn't. He came on a free transfer. Not a free transfer. They paid, I think it was about $1 million for him. But his salary is not DP salary. So
transfer fees don't go against the cap.
Right. So his salary is within the range that he is not listed as a DP player.
Okay. Cincinnati tomorrow. You just talked about it. It's an enormous game. I mean, they've got to now turn this thing up. And you start to look at this team. I think Neville's done a really good job overall. I see the team playing more as a team, but they've got to start getting the results and getting the offense. And, what are they doing to kind of get Pozuelo in the mix? Early on in the other game, he got a shot early on, but, hasn't been as active as you would want. But that's one guy you need to, start getting him more involved in.
Yeah, you could see in that game he played. I mean, you could see his quality in that first game he played. You could see what a difference he could make. He is a difference maker. The team absolutely has a different spirit this year. They are very positive. I go to the training sessions when I can. And there's a lot of laughter, togetherness. The one thing Pozuelo said over and over and over in his first day of media was that he had not seen a locker room like this in a long time. And that for a team that's in 11th place, he said they felt, the locker room felt like a team that was a winning team, that the spirit was great. There was great unity, great togetherness. They have fun. They joke. They laugh. They're very energetic at practice. The practices seem to be very intense and energetic. The spirit is there. I don't see the clicks that there were last year, which was a big problem, honestly. There were clicks on the team. I don't see that this year. I think the team is much more unified. They've got some really good team leaders. DeAndre Yedlin, who was named to the All-Star game, by the way. He's the only guy from the team. He was a coach's pick. He really has made a big difference with the culture of the team. It's a lot of things when you're on the outside and you're just a fan, you don't see the behind the scenes and the clubhouse and the training and just how the players interact with each other, which tells a lot. DeAndre Yedlin has made a huge impact on this team. He's a real locker room guy that everybody respects. The older guys respect him. Gonzalo respects him because he has played in the big leagues in Europe. But then the young American kids respect him because he's on the U.S. national team and came up through MLS. So, he's been a great unifying factor on this team and pacifier. And, I love the spirit of this team. I really do. I love the spirit of the team. They need to start scoring goals again. And really, Campana was doing it. And ever since he got injured and Ari Lassiter got injured, the loss of those two has been a really, really big loss, my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And you're hoping with Pozuelo on the pitch, it would help out Campana, vice versa. And now with Gene, now you have more playmakers. So if you could get Campana back and they're all ready to go, I think the offense now will have more options. So that's pretty cool. Give us a little preview for tomorrow. What do they got to do to beat Cincinnati? What can you tell us about Cincinnati?
Right. Well, Cincinnati is probably the most improved, if not the most improved in the league, definitely the most improved in the East. You know, they were a team that was getting clobbered last year. They got a new coach. They have some good offensive players. You know, one of the things going, and they are just as desperate to win as Miami. They are on the last playoff spot. They don't want to lose that. They're in 7th place. They're viewing this as a winnable game. You know, they're saying, hey, we're in 7th place. We have the final playoff spot. Miami is a winnable game. And they went ahead, I think 2-0 the last time they played against Miami. And then, you know, Miami turned it around. But they are definitely a difficult opponent. One of the other big things tomorrow that we have to still see is which goalkeeper Phil Neville is going to pick. He wouldn't say yesterday. You know, Drake Callender has done an amazing job this year in the absence of Nick Marsman.
Gotta go.
One thing that Nick Marsman brings is he is a great distributor of the ball. So Drake Callender catches the ball better and is good with his hands. Nick Marsman is very good with his feet and is very good in starting the offense from the back, delivering long passes.
Opinion?
Huh?
Who would you go with? To me, it's a no-brainer. I'm going with Callender. I think he's been fantastic.
He has been fantastic. The thing is, they are desperate to score. And I do believe that Nick Marsman is like having an 11th field player. He delivers some long passes directly to the foot of his teammate. He also directs from the back very, very well. He punches the ball out and parries the ball more than Drake. Drake catches the ball, which is a reassuring thing when you're a fan. The guy catches the ball, doesn't just punch it out when then someone can rebound and kick it in or whatever. I think with his hands, Drake is better and has done an amazing job. I would not be surprised if they go with Nick tomorrow, only because I really think they want offense. He is more of an offensive goalkeeper. And I know goalkeepers don't have to be offensive. Goalkeepers, their main job is keep the ball out of the net. I get that.
Yeah, but here's where I disagree with you on this one, Michelle. Their problem is in the final third of the field.
Right, for sure.
His pass isn't getting down to the final third of the field where you're setting up somebody. So really, in the end, they work the ball down. Whether Marsman cuts off the first third with a terrific pass or not, I don't think that's a big issue. Their issue is in the back end and the final third in finishing around that box. And that has nothing to do with Marsman. And Callender has been the better goalkeeper. And to me, and you said the thing about the hands, I love that about him. And I just think that laterally, he's the best guy. He's the guy. When I watch him, he's the guy that moves from one pole to the other a lot faster than Marsman. I think.
Yeah, he also has length. He has length and he has width, you know. Yeah, no, Phil said yesterday that Drake, he feels Drake is one of the top 5 keepers in the league this year and that he has earned the right to be where he is, and that, you know, and that Nick has to prove that he belongs back in the starting job. In saying all that, he also said Nick Marsman has made a very, very strong push this week and this and that. I don't know. He said it's going to be, you know, when I pressed him on who's going to be the starter, he basically said, he laughed and he said, we will have a keeper in the net, that I can assure you. But he said it was going to be a very difficult decision. So I'm going to be curious to see where he goes with that. But this is going to be a tough game. This is not an easy game. This is not the Cincinnati of last year. This is an energized team with new people in charge, and they are in 7th place. They have a playoff spot at the moment, so they're ahead of Miami. It's going to be a tough game, but it's a game Miami really, they cannot afford to lose at home tomorrow, because then there's the next 2 games are on the road, and then there's only 12 games left, and the next thing you know, there's 10 games left, and you know, the more games that go by, the hole is going to get deeper and deeper, and it's going to be too big for them to climb out.
I'm with you there. All right, follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports. Catch her work there at the Miami Herald, and tomorrow, man, 8 o'clock, Inter Miami taking on Cincinnati at Drive Pink Stadium. Michelle, as always, Thank you for the time. Exceptional insight as always. We will catch up again down the line.
All right. Thanks for having me. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you. She is always awesome. Michelle Kaufman. There we go. Getting it done as always. All right. Don't forget, you want to get in 855-912-1056 in the Welt and Rayom text line. We're out here at Craig's Inns, Acura, Pembroke Pines. And folks, the 2022 TLX technology package right now, we got some great lease features, $449 a month. The TLX right now, man, you can take advantage. You can save thousands, $2,000 on loyalty savings. The 2023 Integra is here. It is sharp. And there's one right here, right next to me right now, $369 a month. The MDX, you can save thousands in finance charges right now. You can lease a 2022 MDX with $1,000 in loyalty savings. We've got all kinds of deals going on. The RDX also out here, a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles, brand new vehicles. Come on out here to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines, and tell them that the Big O sent you. Trust me, they will take care of you at the finest dealership in the business, baby. It is Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines. They know how to get it done. All right, what else do we have here going on? What else I wanted to get into also? I wanted to talk a little bit about. By the way, I on the Dolphins side, because obviously we talk about certain things going on Dolphins wise, and we get into all kinds of subjects. Tomorrow we're going to be, Sean and I will be at Dolphins camp. So if you are going out to Dolphins camp, make sure you give me a shout out while we're out there. I'd love to see you, meet you, take a pic, whatever it is. Always love meeting the people that obviously support the hell out of our show every single day. So we thank you all out there. So if you are going to be out at Miami Gardens and seeing the Dolphins practice, definitely would like to run into you guys out there. Talk a little bit about the Dolphins. What else did we talk about? Let's see. Tyreek. I know there was a couple of other things. Oh, by the way, we do have our liquor split matchup of the night. Why don't we do that, Sean? We got to get into that, right? Liquor split, baby. Download the app, iOS or Android. It is Miami's own liquor store. So if you're in Wynwood or you're in Little Havana, you're in Coral Gables, download the app, iOS or Android. $2.99 flat fee, delivered to your office, delivered to your home. We don't want you drinking and driving. Let's get into our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
Right. Yesterday, we went with the Reds, and we told you to lay the 1.5, and hell, the poor Solano kid, right? Donovan, what is it? Donovan something? What's his name? Solano or Castano. That's it. Poor kid got nailed in the head. Had that strawberry in his head, but he's all right. Looks like he's all right. Jesus Aguilar was sweet yesterday. 3 or 4 RBIs, including his 12th home run in the third inning, batting a robust 251. Not like Jesus Sanchez, who's just over the Mendoza line at 207. He had his 12th. But they won yesterday 7-6. So we ended up losing. We're 16-9 now in our last 25 games. Tonight, in our liquor split matchup of the night, Mr. Bassett is on the mound with a 7-7 record and a 3.72 ERA. And Sandy Alcantara, 9-4, 1.81 ERA. The Mets are favored by 1.5. The over and under is 6.5. The Mets are favored by -125 in the money line, and the Marlins are +105 in the money line. I love Sandy. I think he'll do his job, and he'll limit the Mets for as long as he can, maybe a run, maybe 2. My problem is how many runs will the Marlins score? And they scored 7 yesterday, right? They scored 3 the day before that. They scored 2 the day before that. So I got to tell you, I'm going to ride the Mets. I'm going to go Mets minus a 1.5 because I think they'll get their runs eventually once Sandy is done after 7 or 8 innings. And whoever the bullpen is, I think the Mets and their offense and their bats will eventually get to them. And, they'll continue to add talent. The Marlins are probably trying to trade talent. Mets are trying to add talent. I'm going to go Mets minus 1.5 runs tonight against the Miami Marlins in our liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download and tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
All right. So Canes are getting commitments left and right. Thanks to, I think, Susan Miller-Degnan. I think I saw this morning. Thank you for the stats, Susan. I'm going to steal it from you. 8 4-stars, 5 5-stars. The class of 2023 is ranked number 5 by On3, number 8 by 247 Sports, and number 10 by Rivals. So they're top 10 in all categories right now, their class. I don't get too high, too low about all of this. But really, the bottom line will be, what kind of players are you recruiting? And the interesting part about all of this is, if you follow the guy named Mario Cristobal, then I think it'll work out, right? Penei Sewell's known as a character guy. How's Javon Holland working out here? Right? How is Mario Cristobal the player? How is Mario Cristobal the coach? How is Mario Cristobal the recruiter? The guy's been impeccable wherever he's at. I thought he did a great job at FIU. It's just, you got a moron like Pete Garcia running the place. What do you expect? What do you expect? I mean, the fact that FIU kept that moron along that long is just criminal as it is. So this guy was exceptional everywhere he is. Do you know why? Because Mario Cristobal is an exceptional human being. And this is a guy that played with character. Maybe you can call him an overachiever if you want and all that. He got a couple trips to some training camps in the NFL and everything. He's been a winner his whole life. He was a winner as a player. He's won as a coach. He's won as a recruiter. He's going to win here, because one of the things that you like about Mario Cristobal is, I think he is going to identify with people of character. And sometimes you run into these coaches that will win at all costs. I don't believe that's Mario Cristobal. I don't think that Mario Cristobal is going to sell his soul like Urban Meyer has. Urban Meyer will recruit a scumbag, and he doesn't care that the guy's a scumbag, and he doesn't care that he's got a risk that the guy's going to get arrested, as long as he can win him games. Hell, he doesn't care if his coaches are beating women. And that's one of the things that I like about Mario Cristobal, that I believe you're not really going to have a lot of those issues. Look, it's going to happen. You got 90 kids every year. You can't keep track of them. There's going to be a bad apple or two, but I don't think it will be habitual. And that's what happens with some of these coaches that are willing to take anyone and everyone that they can recruit that happens to be a great talent. They don't care, and they don't weigh the consequences or the character. And I think for Mario, this thing, was it Barry Jackson, I think, wrote the story a couple days ago about how guys at times could take it easy with Diaz because Diaz wanted to be more of a friend than a coach and those kind of things. Mario is going to be a coach. And he's going to be your supporter, but he's also going to demand from you. And you better come through on your end. If you cannot produce on your end, that's going to be a problem. You see what I'm saying? And so when I look at everything that's developing with the Canes, Yeah, dude, it's great to get 4 and 5 star guys. This Tommy Kinsler guy who's 3 stars, and they took him from Florida. He's 6'6", 330. Who knows? He's probably a 4 or 5 star talent, but I bet you he's a pretty decent kid. And that's the other thing that I like about what I feel is developing with the University of Miami, because you've had your issues in the past with certain players and characters and lack of integrity. You got a guy at the top that is all about integrity, man. A guy that shakes your hand and looks you in the eye. You know, that's who Mario Cristobal is. That's who Mario Cristobal has been. Look, his mission here is not easy. What he did in Oregon is not good enough here. And he did a marvelous job for Oregon, not for Miami. He knows that. He knows that. He can't lose twice to Utah here. Whatever the equivalent of Utah is here, he can't lose twice to them here. He will get credit. He knows what he's up against. The demands are different, all of that, but he's going to do it the right way. I think he's going to have a lot of success. And one of the things I love about what's happened with Mario Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes is Mario had his experience at FIU, and it might have been a mistake to hire him right away at the University of Miami because he might not be ready. But after his experience at Alabama and Oregon, what I love is he got a taste of running a small program, being a part of the biggest program in college football and the most successful program in college football. And he became the most successful recruiter in college football because he was the number 1 recruiter in the country when he was with Alabama. And then he goes to Oregon and he builds them up. And he even has NFL players coming out of it also. And we've got one in our backyard. He's ready. He's primed. And I think he knows exactly the talent and the kind of player and person that he wants on this team. You know, we talk about a lot of the things that are going on with the Dolphins and what I like. I love what I'm watching from Mario Cristobal and the University of Miami. So, awesome stuff. Let me see where we at. Where's the market at right now?
And also, Joe Shad just posted. Liam Eichenberg said he did have some country names on the list that got cut short, named Tyler and Zach.
So
there was some country involved.
So I was right. There was country and rock.
You were right. Yes,
I was right. I stereotyped them perfectly.
No igmonogamy. There you go. He stopped eating meat.
He's a veggie?
I guess he's a veggie.
Wow. So he's a vegetarian.
Yeah. It's funny. Austin Jackson says he lost 8% body fat and 10 pounds, and he had a great off season. Meanwhile, Eichenberg went up 5 or 6 pounds, but also lost body fat as well.
Okay.
For their off seasons. So
okay. There we go. By the way, Bitcoin is just under 24,000, holding strong, 23,930. Just a hair under 24,000. So it's held pretty damn strong. Ethereum is just under 1,700 at 1,697, just down 3% right now. Bitcoin's down 0.36, so not even just 1/3% overall. Market's doing really, really well, man. Really well. I can't believe this run. I need a few more weeks to believe this run, like I told you. I need to get through August, and then I'll believe that this run is real. And then we'll find out because, it's tough. It's tough, man. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Oh, the Cards removed their homework clause in the contract. Let me give you the quote that they have there because I found it kind of interesting. Obviously, we talked a little bit about Kyler Murray and having that clause that he has to study 4 hours a day and all that stuff. And then so they pulled it from there. But let me tell you something. You can pull the whole deal of, okay, yeah, this is something, we shouldn't have done and all that kind of stuff. But you did it because it's real. He's lazy. And I know he came out and talked about, oh, it's embarrassing for people to think that I, Texas high school football, this, that. That's a bunch of crap, because really talented guys get by high school and college, and they don't have to nearly prepare as much. In the NFL, you've got to prepare. So they put, after seeing the distraction it created, like you didn't know it was going to create a distraction, you effing idiots. We removed the addendum from the contract, the team said in the statement. It was clearly perceived in ways that were never intended. Bull crap. You put it there because he's lazy. You put it there because he doesn't work hard enough. That's why you put it there. Pat Riley had a weight clause for Tim Hardaway, and he has weight clauses for lots of players. He had a turnover assist ratio addendum clause inside the contract for Tim Hardaway. So if Tim Hardaway wanted to earn his bonus, I believe it was 2.5 to 1 the assist to turnover ratio had to be. Tim Hardaway would grab that box score the second he'd walk into that locker. Give me that box score. And he wanted to look at the turnover to assist ratio because he had to make sure that he wasn't turning over the ball to make sure he gets that bonus at the end of the year. When you put the clause in the contract, it's because it's a problem. You know what I love? I love when Bill Clinton tells me he didn't inhale, because then he thinks I'm stupid. Right? If, the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Yeah, you think I'm stupid. That's what happens in this world. Right? They tell you things that it's a flat-out lie. And that's what that is. It's a flat-out lie on behalf of the Arizona Cardinals. Our confidence in Kyler Murray is as high as it's ever been, and nothing demonstrates our belief in his ability to lead this team more than the commitment reflected in his contract, which took a while to get to. Come on, man. I wasn't born yesterday, dude. Come on. You know what I mean? It's like you the clause is there because that's what it is. He's lazy. You want to believe the lies? You go ahead and believe that Bill Clinton didn't inhale, and believe that, the orange man thinks the election was rigged. And if you want to believe that, go ahead, dude. I have a bridge in the Keys. Suckers are born every minute. That's what this world is. Alex Jones was getting sued for that whole Sandy Hook thing. He made idiots believe that Sandy Hook was a hoax. I guess there's enough people that are stupid in the world to believe things, right? So I guess the Cardinals feel that they'll get some of you idiots to believe their lie. Come on, man. The problem, listen, you can throw money at the problem. That's not going to help. Now you took the clause out. What happened to earning things in this world? Oh, we're sorry. We hurt your feelings. Everybody's so sensitive in this world. What happened to tough love? He's not the first person or the last player or anyone to not study enough to do whatever they do. Be a policeman, a teacher, a politician, a broadcaster, a football player, whatever. A salesman, whatever. There's work to be done and preparation to be done to be good at anything that you do. And that's happened in all walks of life, that people don't prepare enough. And obviously, if they put that clause in the contract, it's because they know you didn't prepare enough. But yeah, no, I'm stupid. I'm going to believe that, no, this is not what it was intended to look like. No, of course, because that's put in every contract for every quarterback. No, it's only put in a contract for a lazy quarterback that isn't working hard enough. That's why you put that there, because the following day in the film room, you must have gone over things a bunch of times throughout the last couple of years. You said, yeah, he didn't study the playbook because we told him over and over and over again, he still made the mistake. And that's because he didn't study it. And the agent knows. He let it go by because he knew his client was lazy. And he ran it by him, I'm sure. But I don't know why they didn't think it was going to go public. That all the contracts will eventually go public. People will find out. They'll read your contract. They will get to it every single time. That's why you're the Cardinals. Oh, one more thing why I tell you the clause is real. The Bidwell family is notoriously cheap. So if they think he's lazy and they're giving him all that money, they're going to want to protect themselves financially. Okay? So clearly he's lazy and he doesn't study enough. And he can say all he wants and talk to BS about how he played in Texas high school. And I have the soundbite there, but I don't really care about playing the damn soundbite. Anyway, just a joke. That's all it is. I saw that Daniel Snyder testified for 11 hours for the committee. Now, there's a lot of things that went through my mind when I watched that Daniel Snyder was in front of the committee for 11 hours. First of all, does Daniel Snyder, everybody on the chat board right now, does he not look like a weasel to you? Is like if you looked at the definition of weasel, wouldn't Daniel Snyder's face be right next to that picture of weasel? Right? Correct? Now, let me ask you something, because I have no proof of this. I have no idea if it happened or not. But I've got a pretty big gut, and it does me well at times, not to carry it around, but to make some calls here. Daniel Snyder is the kind of weasel that would lie under oath in front of that committee during the 11 hours. Is there any doubt in your mind that he lied during that time? Right? Right? Is there? Okay, multiple questions. Does he look like a weasel to you on the chat board? Yes or no? And yes or no, or of course, or no, he didn't. Would he lie over 11 hours? Did you expect Daniel Snyder to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth for 11 hours yesterday? What's your gut tell you? Because my gut says he said multiple lies, even under oath. You got him lying. You got him looking like a weasel too? Okay. There it goes. Yes. 100% weasel. Dan equals weasel. Okay, now here's the other part of this equation that's also disturbing. Are you ready for this? There's a lot of things you're going to think about opposite of this. Okay? Who the hell wants to spend 11 hours with Dan Snyder? I don't think his wife wants to spend 11 hours with him. I don't think his mom wants to spend 11 hours with him. I don't think his dad has ever spent 11 hours with him. That alone, I'd rather have bamboo stuck through my fingernails and toenails than to spend 11 hours with Dan Snyder. Okay? I'm telling you, I'd rather you place a suppository in me in the middle of I-95 for everybody to see before I hang out with Dan Snyder for 11 hours. There's a lot of uncomfortable things that I'd rather do than be with Dan Snyder for 11 hours. He disgusts me. Like, I don't know. I if I'm stuck with him in a room for 11 hours, I think I'm going to want to beat the shit out of him. And I'm not even a Redskins fan, but I just want to do it on behalf of the Redskins fans. I guess because I've suffered so much as a Dolphin fan lately, I can relate to Redskins fans. And so just to do them a favor and get all the frustration and anger from the last 25 years as a Dolphin fan and maybe the last 25 years for Redskins fans, I can unload 50 years of pain on that guy. I mean, think about that. There's a lot of things I'd rather do. I'd rather go out with Mama June than hang out for 11 hours with Dan Snyder. There's a lot of things that I'd rather do that I won't want to do, that I would never think of doing, but I'd rather do it than being with Dan Snyder for 11 hours. I think everybody in that committee should retire with a full pension right away. That they had to take the abuse of hanging out with Dan Snyder for 11 hours. I might die if I'm with Dan Snyder for 11. I might age. I might pick up that disease that you age like a year every hour. I don't know. There's a lot of things. But I saw that they interviewed him for 11 hours, and I'm like, oh, my Lord, who wants to be around Dan Snyder for 11 hours? That's just wrong on every level. Mama June, oh, you really hate Snyder. I'm telling you. I'd rather suck Mama June's feet full of ants than go out with Dan Snyder for 11 hours. Just be in the same room with Dan. I don't want to be in the same state with Dan Snyder for 11 hours. When they said he was out on a boat somewhere and they couldn't get to him or whatever, I was going, let Alec Kessler be driving that boat. 5% of the people got that joke. Anyway. Tell you. What would you rather do than be with Dan Snyder for 11 hours? That's really bad. What's the worst thing you can think of that you'll do instead of being with Dan Snyder for 11 hours? You got to pick something bad. I'm sucking Mama June's feet with ants. Yeah, it's pretty gross, isn't it? You can't.
I was just going to say everybody's trying to get away from him. Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Officially retired. Chase Young will not be back in time by the season opener, probably longer due to injury.
He's just, yeah.
And he's just probably sitting there like, agent, keep me out, keep me away from this.
Yes.
I want nothing to do with this.
Yes.
There's a lot of Commanders news coming across.
Yeah, it's all bad. And Nikki's post got so many thousands of tweets and retweets and likes and all kinds, because it was just, it's scary, dude. We're talking about Redskins football, brother. That's like an institution in that area. For them to show that kind of apathy, for them to not care to that level, it's gotten bad, man. Those people are fanatical about Redskins football. Those are some great, great fans that they have there, and they're still there. They just have scruples, and they're saying, F you, Snyder, I'm not supporting you. And I love every one of those people that are staying away from that guy.
I was going to say, it's like what you said yesterday.
Yeah.
In the podcast yesterday. So it's,
yeah. You got to stand up for yourself, man. Didn't Alec Kessler pass away? Yes, he did, sir. He did pass away, but not on the boating accident where he disappeared. He passed away years later. I don't know how long ago it's been, but Alec Kessler's sadly no longer with us. Greater good would rather get monkeypox. Okay. Big O, someone's life could change tonight. What would you really do with over $1 billion? I would have a comfortable rest of my life. I'm not stopping to do the show. Sean and I are just going to take the show to like sick levels. You know? That's all. We'll run the show. We'll do the show. And then we'll have other people cut everything up now, Sean, and do everything up. We'll be on leather couches. We'll be in Caribbean, countries and oceans behind us and things like that. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that I'm just going to quit and leave and get out. Nah, I won't do that. I won't do that. We will take it to another level now. The more you guys support, the more revenue we can generate, the bigger the show will get. The more guests we'll add, the more insiders we'll add. That's what we'll do. So you give me $1 billion. Hey, man, I got the power to do a lot of stuff down here. Probably put together an all-digital station, actually, and really crush it. That's what I could do. Give South Florida fans all over the world a real digital sports station. I'm telling you, we need that down here. Anybody that's got some money, I can put it together. That's for damn sure. Easily. Put everything else out of business in radio. All right. It is time. By the way, we will be rocking tomorrow. We're going to be at Dolphins camp, Sean and I. So I will see you all out there. What is it? 10:30 the practice, I think. 10:25, right? So we'll be out there. We'll be out there a little earlier because we got to get the coach. Oh, no. Yeah, no coach, right? Yeah, he doesn't speak. No, not on Saturday. I think he doesn't even speak today. I think it was only Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, I think he was off today. I think he didn't even talk today. So tomorrow we'll be out at Dolphins camp. So we will catch you out at Dolphins camp. And if you are out there, please come on out and say hi. Would love to meet you out there. And then I will do a show in the afternoon. I don't know if Sean's going to be there. He might be a little spent. But I will do a short show tomorrow afternoon to kind of recap. Cameron Wolf and Marcel Louis-Jacques will be joining me tomorrow afternoon on that program. So I will be there. I will give you a recap from practice tomorrow. And then Marcel and Cam will give you their thoughts from camp tomorrow also. So we'll have a Saturday show for you. Now it'll be on Big O Show Cuts. Not this one. It'll be on the other channel, Big O Show Cuts, that Saturday show. So make sure you subscribe to our other channel, Big O Show Cuts, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Hit the notification bell here. That way you know when the new video pops up. He puts up the Tua press conference, the Waddle press conference, the Tyreek press conference, the Jimmy Butler press conference. You will know when it comes up. And any interview, whether it's on Big O Show, Big O Radio Show, or Big O Show Cuts, whichever one. So make sure you sign up. Sean Stanley, sir, excellent work as always. We will see all of you tomorrow. Same place, same bat channel, slightly different time.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.